have a concept. You have a great concept. You guys are doing it, man. And it's an honor for me to just be, a small rock, man, in your mountain. I'm going to pop a top in your honor.
Mr. Doc Walker blessed us with his presence and knowledge.
We want to welcome in our next special guest, Haley Skarupa. She's a three-time world champion in women's ice hockey and most recently won Olympic gold with Team USA.
The Caps Stadium Series is definitely my favorite, obviously. I'm a huge Caps fan, I always have been, and to be there at that game with my teammates and for us to bring, our gold medals to there and share it with everyone in this area was really, really special for me, and just the support and it's been tremendous from everyone in this area, and you can feel that there at that game.
Welcome to Sports on the Hill podcast. Hashtag DC Sports Without the Politics with Carol and Robbie on True Radio Network.
Welcome to episode 396 of Sports on the Hill podcast. I'm your host, Robbie. I'm joined with the blue liner on point, Gil. And we have an exciting episode coming to you tonight. We've got a live Capitals game on. I'm wearing the Tom Wilson jersey. I hope that he gets better soon. He was injured in a previous game. It doesn't sound like it's like the worst case scenario, like some Caps fans try to paint it as immediately after the injury. Carberry's put him at day-to-day. If it was a ACL, like people thought it was, he would not be day-to-day. I can assure you that. So we will see how that all turns out. We have a live Caps game. I'm going to give a quick little update on how that game is going, and then I'm going to introduce Gil, and we'll get into it. Pretty early on in this Caps game, unfortunately, our old friend Chris Kreider has scored his 14th of the season, made it 1-0 Capitals as I was putting the kids to bed. As I got downstairs, Justin Sourdif got his first goal of the game, and I say first goal because you will see a pattern arise very quickly. Connor McMichael gets his first assist of the game. Matt Roy with an incredible, they were calling it a punt. If you think about it, football, we'll talk a little bit of NFL playoffs in hour two. A great lob pass if you're a basketball fan. We'll also talk a little Wizards in hour two as well, as they've been playing some of their best basketball since 2022. So great lob pass to McMichael, great drop to Sourdif, gets that first goal. And then right outside of the McNugget minute, just 2 seconds before the McNugget minute, Sourdif gets his second goal of the period, seventh goal of the season. Another assist by Connor McMichael, his 18th of the season, number 2. We get a Ryan Leonard goal in 6 minutes into the second period. Beautiful goal. Number 9 scores his 9th of the season. A little revenge against the Ducks, who knocked him out. This is the revenge that we like. Don't need to beat him up. Just get a goal. I'll take it. In the very smallest of slots, right behind the goalie's pad at zero angle. But he got it in there, tucked it in there. This time it was an assist by Sourdif. He gets his 9th assist of the season. And Connor McMichael's 19th assist, so that's his third assist, already a hat trick of assists here for Connor McMichael, making it 3-1, and then Justin Sourdif wanted to get in on the hat trick action and scores his 9th goal of the season, trying to match Ryan Leonard there. Assist by Ryan Leonard, his 17th assist this season. We got Sourdif getting the Hattie, his first career hat trick. We've actually named this episode with the hat trick in mind. And then the scoring wasn't done yet. Our captain, Alexander Ovechkin from The Office, 16th of the season. Martin February gets his 10th assist of the season. John Carlson's 22nd assist of the season, and that thing was a lightning bolt. It was in and out so fast I thought it hit the crossbar, but it was in and it was out. It's a goal. It's 5-1. We were able to kill a penalty shot, but unfortunately they did get 2 goals right there at the end of the third period to make it 5-3, and we need to worry a little bit about holding on here. I believe that we're on the penalty kill to start the third period. What was the penalty for that? Do you know, Gil?
John Carlson was caught, as you pointed out while we were at the game live, prostituting himself.
You're a hooker, so exactly. So we got John Carlson with the hooking. We're going to have to kill that here early in the third, and we've been struggling with leads as of late. And so while the game gets underway, I am going to go a little bit back through our history and talk about some of the games. We'll do it in chunks, and then we'll also talk a little bit about this live game as stuff happens. So I will look at the scores and talk about that. Gil can watch the live game a little bit and let me know if anything major happens in that one. So if we rewind a little bit, and we last left off on the 15th of December, we had a game against Minnesota. On the 16th, a game we'd like to forget in Minnesota. We lost that game 5-0. That would be our third loss in a row, and the second loss that we gave up 5 goals. Not a whole lot to say about that one, other than it's a night that we'd like to forget in Minnesota. We then rebound from that on Thursday against the best team to rebound in the league, the Toronto Maple Leafs, who have been pretty bad this season. We beat them 4-0. In that game, we got goals from Protas, Chikrin, another Chikrin, and a Carlson. And we got the shutout there with Logan Thompson getting a shutout. I will like to announce that he is a Canadian Olympian now, Logan Thompson, getting on that roster. And also the aforementioned Tom Wilson, who's injured right now, but hopefully not too bad, also made Team Canada. So congratulations to both of them. Well deserved. We'd been trying to lobby for them on this show, and I know Gil has on his show, and Janaea, our resident Caps expert from Canada, also lobbying heavily for both of them as well. So it's nice to see that they sometimes Capitals players get snubbed in that regard, and so it's nice to see that they actually made a team there. Then after that 4-0 win, we unfortunately dropped a home and home to Detroit. The first one was 5-2. The second one was 3-2. And then we lose a bad one to the Rangers, 7-3. So again, over the first 5 games, we would end up losing 4 of them. Gil, what are some of your thoughts on some of those early games or in December, or late in December, but early in this recap?
So the trend of closing games very, very badly would begin to rear its ugly head here. And I don't know if they found their way out of it yet, but yeah, this was the beginning of that. Because
we were beating Detroit and the Rangers in some of those games. And how you turn a 3-2 going into the third period into a 7-3 loss, not good. It's really
the problem at the beginning of the season was beginning the games, getting the goals to start. Now it's closing the games.
Yeah, to allow 5 unanswered in a third is bad. There's not really any sugarcoating it than that. I am happy to say in a few games we will get our revenge on the Rangers. In this game, Tom Wilson was not feeling well. He was out sick. That definitely did not help holding on to a lead, as I think that he is one of our better power forwards in defense, right? So we then go to the Devils, which is a solve for us sometimes, and it was one here as well. We went to the Devils, and we got a big-time win. In this one, Protas scored in the very last second of the first period, a McNugget minute for him. 14th goal of the season, Ovi's 18th assist. We go up 1-0. Unfortunately, a brat scores against us and ties it at 1-1. Beauvillier gets his 7th of the season. Alexei Protas' 12th assist. Makes it 2-1 at 17:33. Unfortunately, that brat returns again and ties it. And then Cody Glass scores to make it 3-2, and I kind of thought, oh shit, here we go again. But luckily, our captain, 917, scores his 15th of the season. Rasmus Sandin gets his 9th assist, and Protas his 13th assist. Makes it 3-3. Whenever Ovechkin scores a goal in a game, we win a lot of the time, maybe all the time, but so that's an important goal. It goes to overtime. I'm happy we win it in overtime because it seems that that's the only way we can win it if it goes past 60. We got a Jacob Chikrin beautiful goal, his 15th of the season, assist by Nick Dowd 6th, and Dylan Strom's 21st at 4:06. What were some of your thoughts on that game?
Well, I knew it would be, well, not necessarily a shootout, but a nice back and forth game against New Jersey. Nice to see them come out with the win. I really liked the way they hung on and fought back and didn't give up. I thought, I was kind of hoping that this would be the beginning of, well, righting the ship a bit, but some cures are only temporary, as they say. So.
Yep, for sure. What were your thoughts on the game-winning goal in overtime?
It was absolutely lovely. You absolutely gotta love Chikrin stepping up in overtime. Basically, you could see the look on his face. It's like, okay, we are not going to the shootout. I am putting you all on my back. I'm taking this to the net and I'm putting it away. And as soon as he gets a shot off, and then he turns into one of our favorite superheroes, Batman, by batting it in off his own rebound and puts the game away. So back at it, same bat time, same bat channel. I better bat shut up before I go bat crazy here.
I love it, though. I also want to thank all the people that are watching us live on Twitch. I know that I kind of didn't say hello to everybody that's there, but we got Atrod 1997 in. We also had Tina French in as well. So thank you for all the people that are tuning in early. We got also the Sith Lord. Dan will be on in the second half giving a recap of this incredible Monday Night Raw. They always do it big, Gil, for the first one of the year. And we've gotten some championship matches and some really great matches there, and right now one of the champions is getting destroyed here and pummeled, and so it's been a really great Dan just said, wow, watching Raw and it's going wild here. Yeah, this is a crazy thing, going after a woman in a boot. And anyway, but lots of fun action. We'll talk about that in the second hour, but lots to break down. And I wanted to thank everybody for watching along on Twitch and on Facebook and wherever you watch the podcast. I do want to give one quick little teeny shout out before we keep going. First of all, thank you, Gil and Janaea, for keeping the train going on your guys' podcast. It's been great listening to your guys' recap, all the great stuff. I also wanted to just give a quick little shout out for my own channel. I started a brand new scuba channel, and if people want to know what I've been up to the last 2 months, last 2 weeks, we got. So I've always done scuba diving documentaries. I've always put it on my YouTube channel. They've always gotten lost in that YouTube channel because I have over almost 700 videos on there, and so YouTube doesn't know who to serve my videos to. And people have convinced me, and so I've started my own channel, and it's called Gross Scuba. My wife thought it would be very memorable, and that it is. So if you go to youtube.com/ and then the @ Gross Scuba, or search Gross Scuba, you will get all of our things, including a brand new documentary that I've been working on. The first 4 parts are up. The 5th part is almost done. It'll be out this week. And then the shorts are doing great, Gil. Everyone loves these scuba 10-second clips. People don't really care about the long form. I wish they did because I put a lot of effort into them. But thousands of views on these short clips. So maybe that's just what I am. I shot 10 hours of footage underwater on this trip, so maybe I've got a lot of 10-second clips that I could put up. So
look, he's not just blowing this up on just to say it either. These videos are magnificent. If you love underwater shots, underwater graphics, marine life, close-ups of marine life, you are in for a treat. These are magnificent. I have a friend I used to work with who is into sea turtles. I showed him one of your videos. He absolutely fell in love with it. So yeah, I can say for damn sure these are great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a labor of love, to go dive and then edit and all on vacation. But I love it and be able to remember them. And so I'm also going to take all my old ones from the old channel and repurpose them on this new channel as well. So if people who may have missed them can watch them. But yeah, some really great sea turtle stuff, really great stingrays. There's going to be an eagle ray, a night dive one. There's a lot of stuff coming. So I backloaded it. So I've got tons of footage. So I'll be releasing a new video every couple of weeks and shorts every couple of weeks all throughout, all the way up until spring break when I'm going to go on another dive trip. So I hope that people really enjoy it. And in fact, if they miss it and want to rewind, the new intro to this podcast is the first video of the series now. I've just loaded it up on there. So it's kind of now our calm waiting music, right? So people can enjoy a little bit of that. So I just wanted to put that out there for anybody that is interested about what I've been up to the last 2 weeks. I appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight and talking Caps hockey with us. It's still 5-3. The Capitals were able to get through that penalty there, I do. I appreciate everyone for being a part of it and coming back to us. This is the winter premiere. I do want to give Gil a quick little moment. Let people know what was going on in your most recent one. I know that Anna was not feeling well, didn't come on tonight, but she was on your most recent one. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. So, pardon me. So we have our first of the new year podcast. We go over the first few games that have been played, yeah, a few weeks ago I was a little furious, keeping it kind of contained, kind of trying to keep on an even keel. Of course, the injury's fresh. We haven't that hasn't been mentioned, so that'll be on next week's show. But just kind of maintaining and not getting too panicky. So I would advise our fans to stay the same. Just keep watching, let things develop, and we do what we do, and hopefully you enjoy it. Put out another call for guests to come on the show. We really, really want you to come on. It's kind of, I hate New Year's resolutions, but it's kind of a resolution of ours to get some new faces, new voices on our show who haven't had a chance to talk Caps hockey with us or anybody anywhere. So that's our goal. That's our plan. If you've never had a chance to do that, you've always wanted to call into a radio show, something like that, that's kind of what we're like. You've got a whole hour with us. Talk about the games that were played in the past week. That's what we do, and how the team's doing in general. So we'd love to have you on.
Yeah, I definitely need to find some time in my schedule to get back on the show. I haven't been on this season, but I've always really enjoyed mixing it up with Gil and Anna, not only here, but on their show as well. And highly encourage any Caps fan, whether you're a new Caps fan or an old Caps fan. It's fun to talk Caps hockey no matter who you are. And you always have an open invitation on this show, too. You can always message me or Gil if you ever want to come on either show and talk Caps hockey with us. That's how we got our start, was to give fans an opportunity to talk more than just 3 minutes on a radio show and then be hung up on. They really get to be a part of the conversation, and that's one of the things that I really like about this. All right, let's get into the next game that happened while we were away. Tom Wilson scored early, 4 minutes in, 18th goal of the season. Favari gets his 9th assist, and then Dylan Strome is 22nd. Unfortunately, that didn't even last a minute. And Florida scored. This game is in Florida, ties it up 1-1. Then Sam Reinhart scores about 8 minutes later, makes it 2-1. But Tom Wilson will not be denied. He ties it up himself. And in the McNugget minute, 19th goal of the season, a power play goal, Dylan Strom's 23rd assist, Jacob Chikrin's 15th assist, ties it up 2-2. Dylan Strom wants to get in on the scoring action and does so at the beginning of the third period, his 8th of the season. Tom Wilson wants to get on the assists action and gets his 18th. Alexi Protas gets his 14th. But unfortunately, that 3-2 lead would not hold on. About 3 minutes later, our old friend the Rat, Brad Marchand, ties the game, and then Ekblad gets a goal there, and then Sam Reinhart, who's just been incredible all season long, makes it 5-3, and it's just kind of unraveled there. That was an empty netter, but yeah, so that line is deadly. Ekblad, and Sam Reinhart do a lot of damage there in Florida. So that's
not to interrupt you, Robbie, but we have a scoring update. About I want to say about a couple minutes ago, there was a scrum in front of the net. The puck squirted loose out in front, and Jacob Trouba got his second goal of this game. If I'm looking at this right. No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. He got the third goal. Anaheim's fourth goal scored by Beckett Seneca. Got the loose puck and shot it. Took advantage of the scrum. Lindgren's vision not very good. Cutter Gauthier and Jake Lacombe, the helpers on that one at 9:22. So we now have a 5-4 game with just over 10 minutes remaining in the third.
Oh, I'm getting nervous. These are not the games I love. So congratulations, H-Rod, on Fuecoco, which is I'm a big fan of fire starters. As anyone who's been following the channel, sorry, you can catch Pokemon live on if you're on Twitch. I started off with a Tepig in Legends ZA, and I have started off with a fire starter in every generation. So congratulations to that, and welcome on Interested Panda. And then he said, "Fuck Anaheim," which I agree. Interested Panda, aka John Benson, will be on in the second hour to celebrate him being the champion in our pick'em this year. He did well all season long, and then he fell off for a couple of weeks, and my father-in-law tied him up, and I was tied with him. It was a 3-man scrum trying to get all the way to that last week, and Benson did pull out the victory there. Congratulations to him. Yeah, I will be back to doing Pokemon streams. I'm also thinking about doing some editing streams. If people are interested in watching how I edit the family vlog that I'm working on and the latest scuba vlog on Wednesday afternoon, I think from 12 to 1:30 is going to be a new time. Do 90 minutes of editing and updating people live on Twitch and on my Facebook and on my main YouTube channel. And so I will give a sneak preview of the scuba documentary and for the part 5, which is an incredible episode. And then at one of my favorite dive locations. And then also preview our family documentary that I edited with Zach. He was off school today, and so we edited a family documentary together that is awesome as well. So interesting. You usually pick the water starter. Well, Benson usually picks the grass starter. So between the three of us, we got all three of them covered. All right, back to hockey. Hopefully the Capitals can hold on to this 5-4 lead. The next game is maybe the most fun game of the bunch to talk about. Against the Rangers, Beauvillier at 12:27 gets the scoring started with an assist by Ryan Leonard, his 14th, and Matt Roy's 10th. Makes it 1-0. Unfortunately, Vincent Trocheck gets the reverse Nugget minute. He scores in the last minute. We don't get Nuggets for it, and ties the game. But Tom Wilson, 7:33 into the second, gets his 20th goal of the season. Fastest he's ever gotten at 20 goals in a season, so congratulations to him. Connor McMichael's 15th assist and Rasmus Sandin's 10th assist makes it 2-1 Caps. And our good friend Justin Sourdif gets his 4th goal of the season. It's just about 4 minutes later on a power play with an assist by Alexander Ovechkin, his 19th assist of the season. We go up 3-1. Unfortunately, Adam Fox gets a power play goal of his own, makes it 3-2, a little bit close going into the third, making me a little nervous again. Protas scores 13:34. His 15th of the season, extends the lead, which was nice because that first 10 minutes was a little nerve-wracking with a one-goal game, makes it a 4-2 game. And then Tom Wilson gets his 21st of the season, assisted by Connor McMichael, his 16th. At 16:37, makes it 5-2. Unfortunately, New York gets one back, makes it 5-3 at 18:16. And then Justin Sourdif gets an empty netter, a 2-goal affair for him, which is easy peasy now, I guess, Gil. And makes it 6-3, and we win that game and get revenge. And one of the great things is it's Tom Wilson Day. He makes Team Canada this day early in the morning, gets to do it with his young 1-year-old son and his parents, in town and all that. Great video that they put out in social media. And then goes on and scores a goal, his 20th. We've talked about that. Then he gets deposited into the net after scoring a goal. Then gets into a fight, and then gets that assist on the empty netter, which, arguably the assist is usually the hardest part of the getting the hat trick of merit, of the fighting hat trick, if you will. The Gordie Howe one. It's his third Gordie Howe hat trick of his career, which I would have guessed he would have more, to be honest. But it shows how hard it is, even for fighters, to get that Gordie Howe hat trick. So great day for Tom Wilson. Wish that his luck had continued through the next couple of weeks, but hopefully he is okay. But what are your thoughts on on Tom Wilson Day and this big revenge win against the Rangers?
Perfect game all around. Wish they could bottle it and sell it and keep drinking it, but stuff happens and all that. But yes, absolutely great game. Obviously, the Olympians were feeling it, even though Thompson didn't get the start in this one. But you could tell Tom Wilson was surging, and there wasn't anything going to stop him this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, they just don't do us any favors. It's New Year's Eve. You got to fly over an international border and play another midday game in Ottawa. And, for the most part, we played it pretty well. I thought we would actually get tired and fall apart in the third, which is what happened. But they started strong. Tom Wilson continued his hot scoring, his 22nd of the season, 8-13 of the first. And then Dylan Strome, Sourdif gets the assist on that, his 7th. Dylan Strome gets a power play goal, 9th of the season, assist by Ryan Leonard, his 15th. Jacob Chikrin's 16th. He goes up 2-0 after the first. I was like, maybe we can do it. But our old friend Nick Jensen and scores against us. And he's been having a rough season. But I didn't want him to get going against us. And, but he makes it 2-1. And then they get another one of those bizarro nugget minute goals, which I hate, because it usually gives momentum for the other team. They tie it up 2-2. And sure enough, that momentum carries over into the third. They make it 3-2 at 2:47. But Protas scores at 15:53, makes it 3-3. And, I was watching this game live. I was like, we're going to come back, and this is going to be the turning point we needed. Protas' 16th assist, Sourdif's 16th goal, Sourdif's 8th assist, Tom Wilson's 20th assist. Now he's already got a 2020 season. Makes it 3-3, but unfortunately, just 2 minutes later, they score to make it 4-3, and they hold on for that victory. What were your thoughts on this Ottawa game?
Like you said, they ran out of gas. It was can't completely blame it on that, but then again, they didn't quite do enough to do the win. Great start, faded badly, and yet again, this has been the trend for this team. Unfortunately, they're giving away points in the last 20 minutes of the game, and I'm hoping they figure it out here, but who knows?
Yeah, it's Not a good trend. Anyway, let's keep it going. But I just want to give a score update. It's still 5-4, and still about 6:20 left in the third. On my clock, I think it's very small on my clock. Let me make this bigger.
I'm about 15, 20 seconds ahead of you.
Okay, that makes sense. I never understand why on their own website they make it slower, but they do. For those who pay for the cable, they get it a little bit faster. But I was just thankful that Monumental even works, because this next game is really interesting in the sense that I'm on an airplane, Gil, and I'm watching this thing. And thank you, T-Mobile, for having a deal with Southwest Airlines, because I'm a T-Mobile and a Southwest customer on both of them. And because of that, I get free Wi-Fi, which is not just using, like, you get DirecTV over Wi-Fi, for everyone gets that. But if you are a frequent flyer and have T-Mobile, you get special access to just get free Wi-Fi. And because of that, I was able to log into the app for Monumental and watch this game. It got a little dicey at times, and I would get, like, slowly with the lag further and further behind and have to refresh. But it's better than not watching it at all. I will take it, especially because my flight was 2-hour delay. We sat on the tarmac for 2 hours. Luckily, I had lots of videos for my kids on their iPad. They were both great next to me, and I got to watch this. But it was an exciting game. Unfortunately, it started off terribly. And I was like, oh, do I even want to watch this? I mean, this Chicago team is without their best player in Bedard, and they score 1 minute and 13 seconds into this game, which is brutal. Luckily, Dylan Strome scores just 3 minutes later to even it up, his 10th of the season. Frank's 8th assist, Van Riemsdyk's 5th assist, makes it 1-1. And then Teravainen, who's an incredible player, scores a power play goal, beautiful goal, 2-1, unfortunately against us in the second. And I was honestly wondering if we would even get another goal past this goaltender, Gil. I mean, the goalie was sort of standing on his head. And sure enough, Ryan Leonard, great goal, really timely, 11-18 in the third, scores his 8th goal of the season. Matt Roy's 11th assist and Beauvillier's 6th assist. And they tie the game 2-2. And I thought that would give them some momentum. I was hoping that they would win it in regulation. They were not able to do that. It goes into a very exciting overtime. It gets a little too exciting at times when we take a stupid penalty at the end of the game. And I'm like, shit, well, we're doomed now. Because 4-on-3 is hard to stop. And we get out of that situation to get ourselves to the shootout. And usually that means that we're automatically going to lose, right? Because we're not very good at the shootout this season. 0-4 going into this game. People can kind of see where this is going. Ryan Leonard misses, which looked like it was a good attempt, but it was just a little high and wide. Then they score a goal, and I'm like, oh, we're fucked because we can't score shootout goals. But Dylan Strome proved me wrong and scores a goal of his own, so it's now tied. And then we stop Ryan Donato, so now it's tied at the end of round 2. And then Beauvillier, unfortunately, gets stopped, but so that's going to make it difficult to win this. But sure enough, Chicago also misses, and it goes to an additional round. In this one, Connor McMichael misses. Then we get a big-time save, goes to the next round. And then they finally use Sonny Milano, which they kind of hinted that they were going to use earlier, but then they pulled him back. And he scores. And I'm like, oh, shit, all we have to do is stop it. And sure enough, our old friend, Capitals great, and Stanley Cup champion, Andrei Burakovsky, scores a goal against us. And it goes to another round, Gil. And unfortunately, Chychrun does not score. It looks like he's going to, but it's no good. And then, Nick Foligno scores a goal and ends it. So, good effort. Best effort I've seen in a shootout so far, but still not enough. And what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, still great effort in the shootout. Still get you the Bart Simpson cake. At least you tried.
Right.
No.
Yeah. So it's disappointing for sure. So yeah, we've anyway. Oh, I just it's funny. I missed this message earlier, but I want to shout out TC's People's Champ. He resubscribed for 39 months at Tier 1. It's 2 title matches and 2 title changes. Not a good omen for CM Punk tonight. So we'll see if CM Punk can retain in this final event of Raw here tonight, and so that'll be exciting coming up soon. Yeah, still a very close game in this live Capitals game. We have not forgot about it. The hat trick is currently the difference maker right now, with a 5-4 lead going here. OT game going on elsewhere. Rangers are tied with the Mammoth 2-2 going into overtime there. We've got 3:20 something left, but you've got less time in yours. So Gil, I'm going to let you take it away for the rest of this period if you'd like to, because I know you like to do play-by-play every once in a while, and help us try to somehow find a way through this game here.
Okay, so we've got 2:46 left in the last period, and Caps have broken into the Ducks zone and given it up. So the Ducks will now break out. 43-26, the shots in favor of the Ducks. If you're not liking that number, you're not alone. That's a huge jump since the second period. Okay, Caps have got something going now. Looks like Ethan Frank along the far boards, playing the two-man game, crosses to Carlson, a nice shot there, stopped by the goalie, and back in the corner. Let's see. There's a scrum going on. They're kicking. They're fighting. The ref is not blowing the whistle at any time soon. Sourdif's in the middle. Now we can't get to it. Turn it over to the Ducks. They will break out, and it looks like they're going to be changing lines. We've got 1:55 left in the game. Caps still up by 1, 43-27, your shot count now. Okay, so going to be looking for the Ducks to be pulling their goalie anytime here. Caps need to keep an eye out for that. Here's an alley-oop that is going to no. Okay, in fact, the Ducks have emptied their net, so their goalie is out. Mrazek was grasping for his name. Sorry. Mrazek has been pulled. We've got 1:22 left. Scrum in the far corner, the near corner of the Caps. Caps get it back. The goal line, the alley-oop into the net, and it's in! It is in, 1:14. Caps get the empty net insurance goal. 15 minutes ahead of the McNuggets, but we don't care. We will take it. And that looks like it was Mr. John Carlson with the 198-foot shot.
Wow, that's so far because I'm now seeing it.
Launched it from behind the net.
That's incredible. How can they do this, Gil? I mean, for a defensive player to be able to hit it from that far is absolutely remarkable.
Well, he's always had one hell of a shot. Okay, so he skated. He actually took a few steps out to the right circle. So, okay, so more like a 188-foot shot. Okay,
still
fine.
Amazing.
Fine. We'll still take it. And right down the center. Great shot. Okay, so we've got about 1 minute left. Mrazek is back in the net. 6-4 Caps here. We are now in the McNugget minute. Maybe they'll pull him again, try some shenanigans. Ducks have a shot on net. Great save, Lindgren. Big rebound, though, back in the corner. And the Ducks have it in a scrum, but they turn it over. Can they get it out? Caps are getting it out. Launch it toward the net again, and another goal!
There we go. Get Nuggets!
The captain serving up McNuggets again, his second of the night.
Nuggets. I love in the first goal, I just saw the replay of it, how excited Charlie is. He's going out and celebrating with the team, which is so rare to see a goalie jump into the celebration like that, but I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so picking up the replay here. So Ovechkin picks it. Oh, yeah, just picks it up off the bounce from the boards. Another bullseye dead center about 15 feet, same circle, 15 feet ahead from where Carlson scored his.
Nice. Yeah, I'm seeing
But
it
nice
now.
down the middle. Okay, we've got 30 seconds left here, and all that's left to do is just a rag time here. And that looks like LaPierre. Okay, so LaPierre gets a late game shift. Let's see.
I guess he
here.
can't cause damage in this scenario.
I
right?
guess not. Okay, so Ducks are piling up again. They scrum in front of the net. They've got it behind the net. Point shot coming up here towards the net. It's blocked. We got 1 second. We got no seconds. Game is over. Caps win 7-4. Pardon me.
They put a touchdown up with less than 30 shots is pretty impressive, to be honest.
That's not bad. Don't like the fact that they gave up 40 plus shots, but we will take the win. Not bucking the trend of collapsing at the end, holding it together. Very much like this win.
That's amazing. So, I mean, it keeps our good luck alive. We've had a pretty good streak here of our live games during the podcast on Monday nights. So, unfortunately, the Caps don't play a lot of Monday night hockey games, but we'll take them. So, that's a huge win, big momentum boost, especially after the last one. And we have a big game coming up against Dallas this week, which was always a tough out, especially in Washington. I don't know why, but I've gone to a lot of Dallas games, and every one I've ever gone to, Gil, we've lost, so I've just stopped going to them. I'm like, I can't. Like
Dallas has always been a tough out for us. Just can't seem. Doesn't matter if it's in their barn or ours. Just can't seem to beat them. So might have to. Might have to console ourselves with a schedule loss here, but at least this one, I had a lot of hope that they'd come out the winner, and they did. So just another reminder. Yes, it was a combo, but the captain did score earlier in the game, so you got pizza and McNuggets within this McNugget Minute Goal. Don't forget to take advantage of that order if you're so inclined. Of course, 50% all menu priced items, regular menu price items, and Papa John's. And, of course, the $1 purchase at the McDonald's app for your free 6-piece McNuggets. Somebody pay me to do this because I'm selling you a lot of food here.
I love it. I'm telling you, if I ever get sponsors, you're doing my promos. So this week we also got another rematch on Friday. We're going to Chicago, so hopefully we'll return the favor of beating them in their barn. That'll be an 8 o'clock start on Friday, and then Sunday we're at Nashville. It's a 7 o'clock start. So 3 more games this week: Dallas, Chicago, and Nashville. None from the East Coast, but all can be difficult for us in the past, have been. And so it'll be interesting to see. What are your thoughts on playing Chicago and Nashville to end the week?
Yeah, I think I'm hoping for a much better result for the Chicago game. I think they were discombobulated with the Protus injury that happened in the previous game against Ottawa, and this was of course this was the game where Tom Wilson got hurt. So yeah, I think a lot of that action, that whole, oh my gosh, our 2 best players, what are we going to do? I think they allowed that to get into their heads a little bit too much. So hoping for a better result. Nashville has been one of the worst teams until very recently in the league. I wouldn't sleep on them, but I'm looking for a pretty good effort against them as well. So as long as they stay consistent, I think they've got a fighting chance in that one as well. Real quick, just the Tom Wilson injury, just want to provide an update on that. I know everybody's been needing some calm here, so here's some aromatherapy candle I've been partaking in. No, but seriously, Tom Wilson announced as day to day, which means nothing's broken, nothing's torn. So the prognosis, I would say, is he's probably going to miss. Very likely that he misses the rest of this week's games. maybe look for him middle of next week. I'm not a doctor. I just pretend to be one on a podcast, so take that for what it's worth. Protus also day to day. He was a game time decision
Yeah,
today,
he
but
could have played today, but did not. So I thought that
they
was interesting.
decided to keep him out, go with the Slurpee system for tonight's game. So, you know, more food centric coverage for the our Caps, but it worked out for them. Thank goodness for this game at least. We'll see what they do on Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's interesting how our coach is using these lines right now. I mean, it worked well tonight, although they gave up 45 shots. But really, I mean, LaPierre, they're using him for 6 minutes in this game.
Yeah, that has become a big bone of contention amongst my fellow close watchers of the team. The complaints are starting to get louder and louder and louder. Either trade the man or play him more or do something here because it obviously,
there are
it is
people, Ian Hershey, that we could bring up, right? I just don't know. How is he a better option than those? I don't know. It's just hard. Like, I'd rather develop some talent or something. I don't know. I just feel like that he's a waste of a spot.
They're in a holding pattern with him, and they don't quite know what to do yet. And I wouldn't say it's the key issue affecting the team right now, but it's becoming a bigger issue as the games go by because you are forced to spread out even more minutes to your other three lines. And sooner or later, that's going to wear. That's going to be a big wear, especially with the compacted schedule we have now. That's going to be a big drag on your other 12 players, your other 9 players, rather, from the top 3 lines. So they need to figure that out pretty soon here.
They did a good job about balancing the other 3 lines, to sort of make up for it. They're all right around the 16 to 20 mark. Right now, Chychrun had 22 minutes. He's kind of the outlier, along with the Matt Roy. Yeah, it's just interesting. We got Dylan McElrath clearly only having 6 minutes there. I think that he's kind of was there in case things got a little bit chippy. And I know that that's not what Coach said that he was there for, but of course he's not going to say that, right?
It's what he was there for.
I like how he was trying to deny it, and then McElrath was trying to deny it too. And I'm like, you can try to deny it, but you also said he should have fought, right? So yeah, I can read between the lines a little bit. So yeah, it's
we fans that have been watching this game for long enough can see through the coach speak. So
right, exactly. They try to get away with it, but anyway, we'll move on, and I'll just take the win and just be happy with that. And we got a big one against Dallas. I really hope that we can somehow pay them back for all those years I've watched them beat us. I do want to give a little bit of a podcast announcement on Tuesday the 13th. We have a game against Montreal, and I'm excited to announce I'll be going to that game with my son and my father. So 3 generations. I'm going to get to go to that game. I'd been begging my dad to take us to a game because Zach went to one 2 years ago, but is a bigger fan now than he was 2 years ago, and so I thought it would be kind of fun. It is on a Tuesday, so he is out that whole entire day, so I'm hoping maybe he'll take a nap. He doesn't like to take naps, but but hopefully we'll just have a restful afternoon. I'm taking him out of school that day for another reason. But I'm excited to take him, and we'll get to do the Metro thing together, which I think he always loves, and go down there. And so I'm hoping that's a good game against Montreal. So we'll preview that next week on the podcast, but I'm just excited to get to go to a game. I haven't gone to a game with my dad in a couple of years, and I haven't gone to a game with my son in a couple of years, so it'll be fun to win or lose. Also, Zach's never been to a win, so I'm hoping that we can change that for him. We went to one of those... the only other game he's ever been to was one of the ones for the Super Bowl, the matinees that they do before that. My dad got glass tickets, great seats. I've, again, never won in glass seats every time I've lost. So this time we will be up in the club level, which will be fun because we get free food, which I like free food. So that will be fun, and I'm looking forward to that. But Gil, let people know what's happening on the Power Play Point podcast this week.
Yes, so we're going to be covering the games that begin with, so little discombobulated with the schedule, fortunately or unfortunately, because I was actually at the January 4th Hershey Bears annual teddy bear toss game
Oh,
Sunday.
thank you for reminding me. I meant to talk to you about that. So yes, tell us about that. They did well. 80-something thousand teddy bears, I think.
Yes, 81,000 and change was the last count. It actually ended up being the second most. I was a little surprised because there were a lot of folks with some gigantic bags there.
They had over 100, I want to say, last year or something crazy.
Over 100,000 last year, but
world
only
record, by the way.
Yeah, only 81,000 this year, but still a lot of raining down of fuzzies. And I posted a video of the 30 seconds of it, the first 30 seconds of it that I captured. And there's a reason it was only for 30 seconds because, well, let's see, I was right by. We took advantage of C4's Bears season tickets, which are awesome seats. These are right about where the Zamboni comes out on the back end, where the opposition shoots twice. We're about maybe 10 or 11 rows up. So there were plenty of fans behind me. Anyway, the reason it was only 30 seconds was 30 seconds in, I got pretty big bang badoinged in the back of the head by a fairly large teddy bear, which you'll be able to tell if you watch the video. It kind of goes awry a little bit, and then I had to stop and, kind of watch behind me and make sure I didn't walk away with a concussion, which,
Did C4 go as well, or?
Oh yeah, she did. So it was she, my wife, Mrs. Blue Liner, and Marcus from Sakroom's podcast, and Jared Canty as well from that podcast. So it was the five of us that went and saw that game.
So if you have season tickets, you get to buy the ones around you for certain events and stuff? Is that what happened?
That's a good question. I think that's what Cheryl ended up doing. You'd have to ask her. But yeah, we actually ended up sitting in two different groups. She was a lot closer to the ice than we were. She was like maybe 4 or 5 rows up, I want to say. We were a few rows behind her. Still pretty damn good seats though.
That's exciting. And for people that don't know, the teddy bears come on the ice after the first goal by Hershey is scored. Is that correct? Yeah.
That is correct. And this, so unlike last year, Bears did not wait very long. Louis Belpedio scored this one, I want to say, about 3 minutes in. Down.
Did the Bears win or lose?
They won. They won. This was an awesome game. Graham Clark, number 92 for the Bears, had himself a hat trick. Ilya Protas picked up a point, assisted on one of the goals. I'm pretty sure Andrew Cristal picked up a point as well. But even if he didn't, I thought he looked pretty good too. Ryan Chesley, another Caps prospect, looked pretty good in this game. So great event all around.
Sounds good. Well, I'm happy to hear that the Bears are doing well. I'm happy to hear that the teddy bear toss is going strong, and I'm happy that you got to go. So that's exciting, and I'm happy that you mentioned it. And I hope that everyone tunes in to this week's episode of the Power Play Point podcast. And I'm hoping to have C4 and Anna back on next week, and Janaea on in an upcoming show as well. I thank you to Gil for helping me break down this first one, and a big win, and you got to do some play-by-play, and got to announce 2 goals on a play-by-play, which is all exciting things. So it worked out well, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks. We got a couple of weeks left of hockey, and then we got Olympics, which Gil and I will cover again, which we got to do 4 years ago, and I guess it's actually 3 years ago, right? Because there was that whole delayed, and it happened in 21, right? But I always love the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. We'll definitely do a special for those when those come around as well. And exciting that we are on the road to episode 400. This is episode 396. We're not that far away now, so that's an exciting one as well. So a lot of fun stuff coming up. Hopefully the Caps can continue to play well. And thank you again, Gil, for coming on. And we're gonna switch gears and talk a little football. I'm sorry to your Ravens. They lost in a heartbreaker. We won't get too much into that, but
don't get me started.
yeah, exactly. Poor Loop. Anyway, just brutal stuff there. But we'll definitely break it down a little bit in an hour or two here. But Gil, thank you again, and we'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me. Good night, everybody.
All right. We're gonna switch to our some of our graphics here. We're gonna talk a little bit of. We're actually going to talk a little wrestling first, and then we're going to we'll switch into some football after that. But we got Sith here. We got a championship on the line here. It's always fun. How are you doing, Dan?
Oh yeah, this has been a really good day. I actually saw the finale to Stranger Things earlier.
Oh, nice.
I finally decided to sit down, finally watch it. Now that everyone's watched it, I'm like, okay, hop on Netflix, watch it. It was a very good way to close it out. It's something I told my nephew before he went to bed. It's not the best finale I've seen in my life. But is it really on the level of the shit that was The Sopranos finale? No.
Most finales are bad, though. I don't like most finales. I'll be honest.
I enjoy the ones I enjoyed the most though were Star Trek Next Gen because it ended on such a good closure note where you knew a movie was coming in 7 months. So okay, that's a good way to close that out.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers had a good one because you knew that Frasier was coming.
Right.
Which is one of my favorite sitcoms of all time because
Frasier's
of
great.
Frasier. When he was on air, get those anonymous phone calls and those callers and I'm listening and be some random celebrity at random just doing it. And one time Eddie Van Halen called in, God rest his soul, and he's like, "Am I on the air?" "Yes, you're on the air." "Am I really on the air?" Thank you. But yeah, it's been a good day here. I'm looking forward to the next couple of days, actually. Going to be a little bit warmer down here at the basement, which is going to be a relief. But like what was said by a guy that I follow locally here, don't hold your breath because next week it's just going to be back to winter again. So things are good here. What about you, Robbie? How are things over there in the Ponderosa?
So they're doing okay. I'll be honest, my wife is in the hospital right now, so my thoughts are with her. But luckily my parents are with her. I'm here, obviously, because my kids are in the house, and so I'm happy to do this show. It's a little bit good distraction, but it's been up and down. I had a great 2-week trip to Grand Cayman. I was talking to Gil about doing the new scuba channel. I'm really excited about that. Shout out to Gross Scuba if you want to follow that. You can also see the first video in the series at the beginning of this show. But it's been good. The Caps got a big win today, a revenge win, so that's always fun to talk about live. This has been a great episode of Monday Night Raw. It's one of my favorite episodes I've seen in a while, I would say. We've got 3 different titles on the line. The first 2 have been great, and this match has been back and forth between Braun Breaker here and CM Punk. I'm a big CM Punk fan. And I love to hate Braun Breaker, but I think he's a great villain, right? So this is a great way to sort of start the new year and season 2, I guess, of WWE on Netflix, right? So
This has been a very solid show. I was on X before coming on here, and I was listening to you and Gil, of course, at the same time. And this guy's saying, "Oh God, this is a shitty episode." I'm like, "What are you?" But then I remember who I was reading this from. I'm like, "Well, yeah, he's pro wrestling's version of Walter from Jeff Dunham. He craps on everything." But this has been
how can you hate on it? The 2 title matches were great that we'd already seen. I don't know.
I'm doing something that I'm refusing to look at Bleacher Report grades. I'll do that in the morning.
Yeah.
Not looking at a lot of coverage of what I would look at for this show. I'll do that in the morning because this has just been a type of show where you just want to just be fixated on it. You don't want to deal with any of the noise of grades or anything and just enjoy it. And for those who missed it earlier, Raw has a new signing. Javon Evans, the young OG, the bouncy one, is now signed officially to Monday Night Raw.
Who is signed? Sorry, I missed that.
Javon Evans.
Oh, okay.
Hold on a minute. Checking Messenger just to make sure that it's on our group message. Oh, okay. Got it. I was just checking what was going on there.
Yeah. We've got Champ is having a little bit of issues, so
we can
we'll
right now we're in the commercial break.
This ad is hilarious. With all the anyway, I guess it's a DoorDash ad.
Because guess what? Right now, Punk is in the timekeepers area, and he's clearing shit out, and he's right.
Oh yeah, you're on the VPN, so you're not seeing it. So I'm watching a DoorDash ad where they take all the chairs from where they smash over it, but it's popsicles instead of so which is hilarious. But yeah, what were your thoughts on the beating up of a champion who had a hurt leg? Yeah, that was a pretty crazy spot.
Story angle.
Yeah.
Ask Champ. I love these story angles where the champion is already injured. You bleed into another story. You make it a worse injury. It's a good story building technique. As far as what Raquel Rodriguez did to Stephanie Vaquer earlier, it builds more of a story outlier over here. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually for it. It adds more depth to their story. So that way, when you get that eventual encounter, possibly Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, it's going to blow up like crazy.
Yeah. Champ, how are you doing tonight?
You really want to ask me that question? Do you really want to know the answer to that question? Here's the answer to that question. You're lucky I'm actually on here because I was about 5 seconds away from taking this right hand and putting it right through this screen and not having a laptop.
Oh no!
That's how frustrated I've been all night with technology.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you're here. You're here. What were your thoughts on Raw so far?
Well, I mean, 2 championship matches, 2 title changes. I mean, it's clear that wrestling in general, whenever there's a change in the year, it's a reset.
Yeah,
we saw it with New Japan, with Wrestle Kingdom that happened yesterday. We've seen a couple of title changes, and and then we saw the retirement of Hiroshi Tanahashi. It's a reset. You go into the new year, you reset. You don't continue what you were doing last year unless it's working, like what we saw with the Bloodline, which went on for a long time. But you go into a full reset and you go a different way. And that's what we're seeing here tonight with Raw. We see new women's tag champions in Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, and then we see Becky Lynch regain the Intercontinental Championship. But that also doesn't bode well for CM Punk in his main event against Braun Breaker because of the fact that championships have changed hands on this night. So it'll be interesting to see if CM Punk comes out of this matchup still the World Heavyweight Champion.
So that was a great move right there by CM Punk to not allow for a signature move there by Braun Breaker and made Braun Breaker fall on his head there. And but God, Braun is so athletic. They're showing a replay right now. It's just incredible that someone that size can move, so well. And they've got a real superstar.
The Club in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Wow.
They've got such a superstar there.
Thoughts on that, real quick.
Yeah.
What? Sif, you have a problem. You have a thing of you just want to talk and you talk over people. So I didn't hear shit you just said.
Okay. Champ,
so
you
go
see
for
Dash today.
I did watch New Year's Dash. Me and Sage actually talked about it in our group chat earlier. It was an incredible show, despite the fact that Sage was very critical of the fact that the card was announced almost 24 hours in advance, whereas normally New Year's Dash, the card is announced day of, like the right before the event actually starts. But it actually turned out to be a really incredible event. But I am shocked that for the first time in over a decade, New Japan Pro Wrestling is not going to have a Bullet Club stable. Bullet Club has been a constant stable in New Japan since 2011, I believe. Well, 2013, I'm sorry. 2013, when Finn Balor, when he was known as Prince Devitt, started the Bullet Club with Carl Anderson and Bad Luck Fale. And there have been so many different iterations of the Bullet Club, the regular Bullet Club. Then you had Bullet Club Elite versus Bullet Club OGs at one point. Then you had Bullet Club War Dogs, Bullet Club House of Torture. And then you had just the Bullet Club War Dogs. But now it's looking like Bullet Club is gone. New Japan is definitely, you could definitely see over the last 2 to 3 years, and Sage would probably attest to this more than I would. New Japan is definitely going in a different direction and really breaking a lot of the traditions that they've had over the years, like the G1 Climax tournament winner getting a main event world title opportunity at Wrestle Kingdom. That hasn't been a thing for the last 2 years. Zach cashed it in at King of Pro Wrestling, saying they would Konosuke Takeshita. The World Tag League winners getting a shot at the tag titles at Wrestle Kingdom. No, they got a shot this morning in New Year's Dash. Unfortunately, they didn't succeed. The Super Junior Tag League winners getting a shot at the tag titles at Wrestle Kingdom. That didn't happen. They actually, we actually saw for the first time this year, the Super Junior Tag League winners, which were the tag champions, having to defend it at New Year's Dash. So a lot of changes going on in New Japan. Some of them good, some of them not so much. But that's the thing about professional wrestling, is that things have to change, because otherwise it becomes stale and stagnant. And with Tanahashi's retirement, now him being now a full-time executive, you know, there could be a lot of different things that could be happening in New Japan moving forward. But
I didn't see it. I assume he lost his last match. Is that usually is what happens?
Yes. See, unlike what AEW did with Sting, where even Sting, and there's been reports about this, Sting himself did not want to win his retirement match, because the tradition is when you're retiring, you go out on your back, you lose. And Sting wanted to lose, because him and Darby were the tag champions for his retirement match. He wanted to lose to the Young Bucks, but the Young Bucks and Tony Khan said, no, sir, and ended up having Sting and Darby win that tag match, with Sting getting the winning fall, which is not normally what happens in a retirement match. Same thing with Ric Flair and that debacle of the last match he had back in 2022. Where he got the winning pinfall, even though he passed out, went unconscious at least twice in that match. And yet he got the winning pinfall in his final match. But typically with the retirement match, you lose. That's why a lot of these newer fans were so upset when Cena tapped out to Walter at his final match at DC a few weeks ago, because they seen Ric Flair win his retirement match in 3 years ago. They saw Sting win his retirement match 2 years ago, and they thought, oh hell, well then Cena should win his retirement match. No, it don't work that way, because what is the purpose or the point of someone winning on their way out? It does nothing for them. It's better when they lose, because then whoever beats them, that's big cred. That's huge cred. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the hell?
I know this is going off the rails. This there's just I think the action on the side of this match is maybe more exciting than the action in the match. Yeah.
And the match hasn't been bad either.
No, I know it's been good, but this is like I do love that all the superstars are coming out there and protecting CM Punk, and it's funny because they thought the stomp from Austin Theory was going to win it for him, and now he's going to have to do it on his own. But Braun Breaker is losing it here, trying to get all muscled up.
Nah, he's looking for that spear. That's what he's looking for.
Oops. Oh
my! Go night night.
Come on, CM.
You want to go night night? You want to go night night?
1, 2. Oh no! He kicks out. Oh, this is a great match. This is what I love about it being on Netflix is that there is no time limit. You know, like you don't know when it's going to go out.
The cool thing is that they're about to go to Europe for the next several weeks. So
you get to watch it live pretty much in the middle of the fucking day. 2 p.m. Eastern on next week because they're in Germany.
Yeah.
And it'll be the same thing if you have a VPN and can put it into a foreign country. You can watch it on Netflix live this Friday in the middle of the day because they're in Berlin on Friday for SmackDown. They're in Munich next Monday. So you can actually you can be like everybody else and wait for it to air on the USA Network on a tape delay. But by then, spoilers and results are going to be all over the internet by the time that show airs. So you're going to already know what's going to happen. But what me and Sid are going to do, turn on, we got that NordVPN gimmick. Yeah. I'm going to be in Perth, Australia. And while I'm working, I'm going to have SmackDown on my phone.
Nice. Do you get to work remote that day?
Huh?
Do you get to work remote that day at least?
Yep, that's my remote day. My remote days are Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and then my in-office days are Tuesdays and Thursdays. Oh, he's got the Fujiwara arm bar in there.
Oh no! Don't tap out! Don't tap out! Stay in it! Stay in it! Oh, good reversal! Ah, I didn't get it though. Oh, he's back to the arm bar.
Still got it in there. Matter of fact, the man who created that move, Tatsumi Fujinami, was actually one of the people that said that was in person to say goodbye to Hiroshi Tanahashi at his retirement ceremony after Wrestle Kingdom was over. That was great. Oh, Anaconda Vice!
I love that rollout there. That's a great move. God, CM Punk is a lot.
You gotta remember, CM Punk went through MMA training and was in MMA for a short period of time, so he kind of retained some of that to kind of help him out.
Yeah, I know. It's hugely helpful.
Oh, shit. Like, oh, shit. Braun just got nose to nose with him now. Oh, shit.
I'm so happy we get to cover this live. This is a great match.
Oh, get fucked!
Oh, come on.
Gutbuster.
Oh, no. God.
He cleared him with that clothesline, bro.
Oh, he still kicks out.
I knew he was going to kick out of that, but Jesus, that still was nasty, though.
It's a long match. I want to know what the runtime is of this.
We'll have that for you more than likely on Sunday night because I usually don't get the match times until like about 5 minutes after the match is over and whatnot. But I'll see what I can do.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think it might be.
I gotta say, I love Braun Breaker's gear. I love both of their gear in this one. It's
yeah.
Oh!
He got it. Get it
not
in!
The STF!
Yes, lock it in.
Not the STF. Tap out, son. Tap out.
Tap out.
Tap out, son. Tap out.
Son, he's coming close. No.
And then look, after this, tomorrow, NXT's got their special television event. They got New Year's Evil, which is going to be good. By the way, again, if you're watching this in the United States, they had a commercial break during this, and Javon Evans was brought out by the general manager of Raw and ended up signing with Raw. So he got his call up to the main roster. just a couple days after Trick Williams, who he's had a great rivalry with, and NXT got called up to SmackDown. Oh, Paul. Oh, Paul.
No, don't feed into it, though. I feel like this is a distraction. Oh, he dodged it, though. I thought that was going to be the opening. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, hey, Paul, you're a little too old to be doing topes, my man. I'm just saying, you're a little too old to be doing topes, my man. Holy shit.
Oh, man. CM Punk got suckered into that, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best in the business in doing that, though.
Tonight. Weird thing about Netflix tonight on my end, on VP, I'm not sure about Champ, is we didn't get the usual countdown that we would get for a live episode of Raw. Instead, it just went 8 o'clock as it was uploaded like it was on tape delay.
No, I got a countdown.
I didn't, but
I got a countdown. I got a countdown and then it started.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, because my VPN's in Australia, no commercials. I got to see everything on commercial breaks.
Oh! From the top rope through the announcer table.
There goes the table.
Oh. This is so fun. We call it a live hockey game, and I get to call a live huge match with you guys. So, this is a fun night.
Absolutely. The first.
This is how winter premiere should be, right?
Yes. First Sports on the Hill in 2026. Why not? Shit.
Yeah, exactly. Especially because it used to be that we used to have the football championship for college, but now with the extra rounds that they have, that's moved back to next week. So next week we'll have a live football championship and so we'll be covering that as well as us live rooting against Pittsburgh.
He dropped that spear, just took a knee right to the top of the head.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. No, next week is the Pittsburgh game. The following week is the championship because the semifinals have to still happen on Thursday and Friday.
Oh, he retains.
Yes, retains.
CM Punk retains.
So you know who I'm picking to win the Rumble now?
Braun Breaker.
Yep.
Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker gonna win the Royal Rumble, bro.
Yeah.
He's gonna win the Royal Rumble. But what a close to the show, though, man. I mean, what a main event on what was a really good show. You got to see Liv Morgan have her first singles match, her first match overall in 6 months since she was out with that injured shoulder against Lyra Valkyria. You got to see the tag title, the women's tag title match to start the show, and Rhea Ripley and EO take the titles. Becky steal the Intercontinental title from Maxine Dupree. You got a promo segment from the Usos. You got a promo segment from Vaquer, which led to Raquel Rodriguez being a piece of shit. I mean, and I thought Drew McIntyre Drew McIntyre's still the biggest piece of shit in the WWE right now, but Raquel Rodriguez is trying to get up there in the top 5 pieces of shit heels in WWE right now. It's insane, but what a crazy night. And even some of the promos that they did during the commercial breaks are pretty entertaining, like Theory and Logan Paul right before the main event when they did a commercial break and everything like that. I thought everything was done very well for this show. I mean, they did very well with this show. The show was done good. I'll be interested to see how Bleacher Report grades this one when we go and talk about it.
I love this shot, by the way. Sorry, like... You have Braun Breaker almost in tears, and then it zooms up and CM Punk holding the title. That's a great ending shot. So, that great episode of Raw. So great caps. Both ended the way I wanted to end. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let's talk a little bit of football before I let you guys go. Or let Sith go. I know that Champ will stay on for a little bit longer and talk about it. But I want to get your guys' thoughts on this Eagles-Commanders game. I know there's been some debates online. I was actually watching some videos about it before. I know that Champ is of the mindset you always beat a rival. I know that we did drop 2 spots in the the draft order
We're still
because of
top 10, Robbie. God damn.
it. I know. I'm kind of with you. I'm happy we beat the Eagles.
We still have a top 10 draft pick. By the way, you know who else has a top 10 draft pick that hasn't had a top 10 draft pick in 13 years? The Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
The Chiefs haven't had a top 10 draft pick since the 2013 draft, where they had the number 1 overall draft pick that year. And hang on, I looked it up. They took an offensive tackle with the number 1 overall pick in 2013. And that was the last time that the Chiefs had a top 10 draft pick. Oh, by the way, the Commanders, who were then known as the Redskins, didn't even have a first round pick that year. They would have had the 7th overall, but they traded it away. So they didn't have a first round pick that year. But Kansas City had the number 1 overall pick, and that was the last time they had a top 10 draft pick since. Ever since then, of course, you know, they went on that run where they won the division every year. They were in the playoffs every year, and they won like 3 or 4 million Super Bowls. So they always had the last pick in the first round, stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting offseason. You already have 4 head coaches that got fired. Raheem Morris, despite winning 4 games in a row to close out the season, him and the GM got fired. Kevin Stefanski of the Cleveland Browns got axed because that Cleveland Browns team is hopeless. Pete Carroll lasted 1 season with the Raiders, and that season was ass. So that's the other one. And who else? It was one more that got let go. I know it was Atlanta, Cleveland, the Raiders,
Arizona.
Yes, thank you, Tim. God,
the voice of Tim.
God, but yeah, it was Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon got fired as well.
Space here.
He was asked too. No one. See, I said God. I was right because he's up in the sky. This guy. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
But so already, like, and here's the crazy part is that I'm kind of surprised by the low, and I don't advocate this. I don't advocate for anybody to lose their job because I was unemployed for 8 months and it sucked. But I'm very surprised by the low number of coaches that got fired on Black Monday. Because normally Black Monday, you get like 5 or 6 coaches gone, especially with the way that some of these teams played this year. I was expecting at least 5 or 6 coaches to get fired today. And the fact that one got fired literally after they won their season finale, and then 3 more today, I'm shocked. I'm very much shocked. But at the same time, there is the possibility that more could go in the coming days.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I am happy that we beat the Eagles. I know that it's against their 3rd string, but there's going to be some real big question marks. You know, if they can't beat San Francisco, and San Francisco is a tough out, and Green Bay would have been a lot easier of an out. Champ, what are your thoughts on resting your starters?
Philly's media has been killing Nick Sirianni and his staff for sitting their starters when they had a chance to win the game to get the 2 seed and face Green Bay in Philly and guarantee that unless Seattle makes it to the NFC Championship game, that Philly would host the NFC Championship game if they got there and Seattle didn't. But now they're in a situation where they need Seattle and Chicago to be out in order to host the NFC Championship game, but they also have to handle business against San Francisco. And you're right, Robbie, even though I don't like to say it because my good friend, my sister, Brit Brat TV, shout out to Brit Brat TV, is a Green Bay Packers fan. I would never say that Green Bay is an easier out than San Francisco because they are a very talented team, but they are limping into the playoffs, and so is Philly. So that would have been a situation of if Philly would have won, they wouldn't be limping into the playoffs. They'd be coming in with some momentum against the Green Bay team that couldn't even put up a lot of offense against a subpar Minnesota team. And I think they would have had their way with Green Bay in Philadelphia. But they figured, we're already in the playoffs. We know we're playing next weekend. Why play our starters and risk injury? Well, because of the fact that you have a Washington team that had nothing to lose and everything to prove. and they went out and they proved it. And so now Philly has to deal with a San Francisco team that has a very talented quarterback in Brock Purdy. Of course, you have CMC, number 23, is always going to be a difference maker because he's a dual threat. He's great in the run game. And he's even better in the passing game. And you also have George Kittle, who's one of the best pass catching tight ends in all of football. Philly's going to have to really, really buckle down and really have to get their shit together if they're going to make a run at the Super Bowl. The remaining teams in the playoffs will have no excuses in terms of winning the Super Bowl because guess what? They don't have to deal with the fucking Chiefs. Okay?
I know.
They don't have
the
to
most
deal with
wide open playoffs I think we've seen in years. Right?
This is the most wide open playoffs we've seen in over a decade because the Chiefs aren't in it.
Yeah,
okay?
I agree.
The Chiefs aren't in it, and the Bills aren't even the division champs. That's New England. Congratulations to them, by the way. And also, what a turnaround for the Jacksonville Jaguars. These motherfuckers lost 13 games last season, and then turned around and won 13 games and the division.
I think last year was the anomaly, though. So if you go back and look at the last 4 years for the Jaguars, they were a better team than what we saw last year, right?
I think that with what happened with this team this year, if Liam Cohen does not win Coach of the Year, it better be Mike Vrabel. That's what I'm going to say. If Liam Cohen does not win NFL Coach of the Year for the big turnaround that the Jags had, it better be Mike Vrabel. If it's anyone other than Cohen or Mike Vrabel, then it's bullshit. Because those two guys have turned around two franchises that a year ago were trash. And now they became world beaters. So there's no way in the world that either one of those two should not be considered or win Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I think the Bears coach should be in the
Ben
combo.
Johnson. Yeah, Ben Johnson too. Yes. Thank you for
Shows
reminding me that, Tim.
having
Ben
a head
Johnson
coach.
definitely the top three candidates for Coach of the Year: Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, and Mike Vrabel. Those are your Coach of the Year candidates that matter. Those are the ones that matter.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears were a team that lost a lot of close games last year, and they won all of those games this year. It shows the importance of coaching. And I'll ask this to Tim. I know that we've talked offline, but, you know, it was a rough game yesterday, obviously. But, like, do you think Harbaugh's got to go? And do any of these coaches that have been fired seem interesting to you? Or who would you even replace him with?
I think there has to be some major changes. I think with Harbaugh, he's been around so long, it's kind of like a tenured professor where I don't think they would necessarily fire him. I think he's going to have a meeting with the owner and they're going to just say, hey, you know, you've been here almost 20 years. You're getting older. Do you want to still coach? Do you want to retire? And if they kind of mutually decide it's not working, they'll probably figure out a way where
can he be an executive or something? You know what I mean? Like move him up.
Yeah, that happens in the NFL too. You know, they might move him to the front office and think that he can still help there, and then bring somebody else in. But I think a big part of it is the coordinators because, you know, if they go to him and say the defense is clearly a disappointment, you have to get rid of the defensive coordinator, maybe the offensive coordinator too. If he pushes back on that and says, no, I want to roll with the same coordinators, I think then you have to consider letting him go because
especially on the defense. I feel like that's the cornerstone of what the Ravens are, is their defense. Like the years they've been good.
It used to be. Not now.
But I think they need to draft a defensive end. You know, I think that, you know,
pass rusher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I think you've got, and I mean, it's too bad that you got some injuries in that game, and I think that changed how that game went. But I still think you need a better pass rusher. The fact that you didn't have a single player with 4 or more sacks it's going to be tough to win. You can make the playoffs with that situation. You know.
Yeah. They have to focus on the pass rush for sure.
Seth, do you have any thoughts?
first and foremost, I have friends that I went to high school with that are diehard Eagles fans. They grew up in Philly, then moved to Richmond, and they said it best. Washington won, more power to them. They had something to prove. We rested our starters. We should not have rested our starters, but it is what it is. Harbaugh, honestly, in my opinion, is in the same situation as Tomlin in Pittsburgh, where it's like having a tenured professor there. And if things didn't work out in Pittsburgh to where they won the division title, where they did last night, apologies to Tim, that was a hell of a game, though. I could see a meeting between management and Tomlin discussing the same things and saying, maybe coming to a mutual agreement to leave or something like that. With Baltimore, I agree. It's the defense that's got to get shaken up here where it comes to the defensive coordinator and whatnot. And I think that Tim is on point. If Harbaugh doesn't want to make changes, then there needs to be a mutual decision to part ways. I know it's difficult because of how good of a coach Harbaugh is, but what is Baltimore known for when they've won Super Bowls? Defense. Defense in Baltimore wins championships. Point blank. And
that's the thing is like, I know that people kind of blame the kicker for that, but the reality is Lamar took them on a game.
The kicker blamed himself. He said it. He was like, I mishit it. And it was clear he mishit it. He's a rookie. He's a rookie. He's never been in that situation. A game-winning kick to go to the playoffs. Of course he was going to fold. He ain't a vet.
I know, but I was looking at the weather by hour. I went back and checked it. The humidity point, the dew point, it was called ice fog that it was in, which has got to be heavy. And both kickers, and both are two of the better kickers in the league, both missed it wide right. And it's just the chances of that happening without it being somewhat environmental. I'm not denying what the kicker said. He miskicked it, whatever. But I think that's him being a good person and standing up for it. But the reality is Lamar had taken them on a drive and they were winning. And then they turn around and let Pittsburgh drive on them right away, right?
Three times in a row, by the way, because he had 3 touchdowns, 3 scoring drives at the end.
So, it is the kicker's fault, but if the defense had held up on any of those drives, right?
Calvin Austin doesn't get that touchdown if the defender doesn't slip. I'm just putting it out there. If the defender doesn't slip, Calvin Austin doesn't get that touchdown. But the defender slipped enough that Calvin Austin was able to go up the field, and Rodgers, being the veteran that he is, immediately saw it and put a nice little dot right on him, and it even gave him the old Rodgers celly. And I was just like, damn, that's gotta hurt. Yeah, Rodgers. I haven't seen that Rodgers celly in a minute, bro.
But it's like
Sunday Night Football.
And it still shouldn't have been the winner, but it was.
Right.
So.
It shouldn't have been. And he even Rodgers admits that. He's like, he celebrated too soon and he was really nervous there at the end. But I don't know. I know it's not scripted, but Aaron Rodgers making the playoffs on the last play of the game, does sell tickets. But next Monday we'll root live against him and we'll see how that goes. Right. So I think that they have a tough out against a very, very hot and good team in the Texans. Texans
are really good, man.
Yeah. I've never seen, well, it's happened, but it's very rare that a team starts as bad as the Texans did and still make the playoffs. It's like them and the Colts did a Freaky Friday switcheroo in the middle of the season, and it's so rare that a 7-1 team doesn't make the playoffs, right? So it's just what a bizarre season we had, here on that end.
Even in the last game, the Colts blew it to the Texans and blew a big lead. It was like a microcosm for the whole season.
And even more funny was that they tried to do some little trick backyard play, and one of the linemen ended up scoring when he was supposed to score on a play early on in the game, and he still ended up getting his touchdown to seal the victory. And I was just like, you know what? That's just great story. That's just a great storyline right there.
There was a lot of upsets this last week, in a surprising fashion, yeah, it's funny. Benson is saying, who could have guessed that a 44-year-old Philip Rivers was not going to lead the Colts to the playoffs, which is true, but, they gave it their all. I kind of feel for Colts fans. They thought they had it. It's like that fishing line. You missed the $100
you gotta be quicker than that.
Exactly.
Remember that commercial, y'all? That was a great commercial, by the way.
Yeah, that was good. But Seth, I'll let you give your last thoughts because we're going to get Benson, our champion of Pick'em, in here and give his thoughts on the week that was and the upcoming playoffs as well. But Seth, give your final thoughts and we'll let you get out of here.
Washington needs to go on defense this offseason. Okay? We've made some good improvements on offense, but that defense needs work. So that should be our focus in free agency. And honestly, if that safety, I think it was either Indiana or Ohio State that's in the top 10. If he's available at number 7, just snag him. Just get him. Because right now you really need to work on the defense. And also, overall, and this is a team thing, we got to get healthy because, I agree with Robbie when he said in our group chat, Quinn gets at least 2 years based off of last season. And this season, the team just didn't have time to congeal because just when you think you had one set of players ready to go, injuries happened again, over and over and over again. And that was a big issue. But I think that next season will be a turnaround season for us. I think
I hope so. It's a tough schedule. They announced the who we're playing list, and there's an argument to make that it's a harder schedule than we had this year. So, they're going to have to step up to be able to compete for sure. But
right now it's Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Yeah, I took on a whole bunch of controversial movies and ranked them worst to best. And some of the worst movies on that list are films that I either will never sit through again because they're just abysmal, or in the case of Last House on the Left, it's a horror subgenre I just don't like at all. It's just very uncomfortable to sit through, one of them, both films in that subgenre are lowly ranked, but you can find Six Spaceman on Spotify and now also on Apple Podcasts as well. I'm there as well. And this Sunday at 5 p.m. East, 90s cult movie spanning several genres. And there's 35 of those. And then after that, we've got the worst movies. Oh boy, the top 5 worst films of last year. Champ, I need some Advil. This was bad. But then to close out the month, we've got the best film for every year in my life where I will reveal the official pick for the best film of 2025. So that's what we've got on this month already set to go.
That's awesome.
I finally decided last night what the best movie of last year was.
Oh, we'll have to stay tuned for more. And definitely catch Sith also on the No Spots podcast this week as well.
I'm going to let Champ talk about that later on. But we just put out episode 314 on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I believe Amazon Music as well. Champ found a way to get the first little bit that wasn't in there. He got that split in. So that is now up for everyone to listen to on all audio platforms as well.
Awesome.
And it was a struggle to get it up, by the way. I just want to put that out there just to break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
I hear you, bro. I hear you.
Thank you, Sith, for everything, and it was fun covering that Raw together tonight, and we'll definitely have you on to talk playoffs in the upcoming weeks.
Hold on. Let me see it Jim Moore style. Playoffs? What do you mean playoffs? Champ, Robbie, Tim, adios, muchachos. Appreciate you guys.
Have a good
Take
one.
care.
All right, have a good one. All right, so with that, we're going to bring in Benson, our champion. We're also going to, let me see if I can get this.
Boo! No, I'm just kidding.
Congrats to the champ.
Exactly, the champ versus champ. And we got this button, that button, and then, hold on, make sure I'm sharing the right screen. And we'll go like this. And
nail biter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a very, very close, for sure. Let me make this a little bigger, and then we will switch our screen. Actually, we can leave it on the screen. It's fine. Oh wait, let me see. Does this one look better?
I'm not making any excuses, but I didn't make picks last week, even though I probably was going to catch bitching. But I think I probably would have got a little closer if I'd have made picks last week. I completely forgot.
Yeah, I know, but you had a lot going on, so it happens. It came down to the last week, Benson. You took me by 30 points and beat me by 20 points overall in this. Tommy and I are tied for second place, but it was a very close. But you did a good job here. We're gonna go through your picks of those last week because it was important here. I'm going to run through all the games real fast, and every one of you guys can pick a game you want to talk about, and then we will take a look at the upcoming schedule. I know we're probably going to have to let Tim and Champ go in about 10 minutes, so I'll let each one. I'm going to go through the game.
I'll stay on a little later because I want to talk playoffs, so I'll stay on a little later.
Okay, all right. We've got the Buccaneers versus the Panthers in a crazy game that was supposed to decide the division / the last spot, with the Buccaneers beating the Panthers, but because the Falcons won, it was a three-way tie, and the three-way tiebreaker was very different than the two-way tiebreaker, and then it shifted to the Panthers winning. So a lot of people I saw online has conspiracy theories that this all happened to make a game between New Orleans and Atlanta mean something. So I saw a lot of that, and I mean the ratings were.
I don't blame them because if it wasn't for that no one would have gave an absolute rat's ass about the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. No one would have cared unless it had something to do with this.
Right, so it's interesting. We got the and so I watched that game, and because it was raining in Tampa Bay, I was sitting on a tarmac for 2 hours watching that Tampa Bay ending of that game, but then I also switched over to the Capitals. The Seahawks-49ers game was actually a better game than this score looks like. The Seahawks did beat them 13-3, but it was a really good defensive game going both ways. We got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Good on the Cleveland Browns for getting that last sack that he needed to get the sack record all time. I'm always a big Myles Garrett fan, big fan of the Texas A&M. So that was a big time for him, and they were able to beat their cross-state rivals. We get the Vikings and the Packers. That was an interesting game because the Vikings really had nothing to play for, and they ended up winning. And that tie gives the Packers the playoff spot.
But the entire NFC North hates each other. So anytime one of them can spoil it for the other one,
yeah.
Well, I mean, Green Bay were already in the playoffs. This game didn't really mean much because their seeding was set. They were going to be the 7th seed regardless of result here. But it's just what counts more is momentum going into the playoffs, especially because now their road to the Super Bowl, they're not going to play another game in Lambeau Field the rest of this year.
Yep.
Because they're the very last seed that was set. So they're going to have a tougher road to go going into the playoffs because every game's a road game for them going forward because of their seeding. But this game was more so for momentum for that road, and they couldn't even get it done offensively. I mean, I think I was watching Red Zone, and at one point they cut into that game, and I think I heard Scott Hansen say that at one point it was in the fourth quarter, and they only had 65 yards of total offense in the fourth quarter. And I said, "Wait, what the fuck have they been doing all day?"
That's going to be a crazy matchup. We'll get into it, but like them playing the Bears, right? You know that the Packers want to. Get revenge for this season against the Bears. And
they've had 2 banger games this season.
Yeah, so it's always hard, you never know what's going to happen when they play the third game. Often it doesn't go the way that the other ones did, right? So that'll be interesting. I love this. The Giants beat the Cowboys. They have nothing to play for. The Cowboys.
The Giants
won their way.
Even tank right.
Right, they won their way out of the number 1 overall pick by beating the shit out of the Cowgirls. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, especially because it turns out that Vegas wins their game, right? So, like, the Giants actually had an opportunity here to get that one spot, right? Yep. They thought that they had worked their way out of it the previous week, right? So, then we got the Jaguars and the Titans. Both teams are what we thought they were.
Fight your ass.
They are who we thought they were.
Exactly. They're really bad. We got the Falcons and the Saints. Aforementioned game that mattered to some, but not to the 2 teams playing. Thought that was interesting. The Texans beat the Colts in a very strange game, but the Texans stay red hot. We got the Lions. What they thought they were spoiling it for the Bears, the number 2 seed at the time, but then the Eagles spoiled it for themselves, just moments later. So that was interesting. They got the Broncos and the Chargers. The Broncos have an incredible season. I mean, there's not a really good favorite to win the Super Bowl, but the Broncos would be a tough out for anybody, right? So they're playing some of the best ball all season long. Got the Rams and the Cardinals.
Broncos had a 10-game winning streak at one point. 10-game winning streak to get them into this position where now they're the number 1 overall seed in the AFC.
It'll be interesting to see if the buys help them. Like, it sometimes helps, sometimes hurts. In college football, it has significantly hurt every team that had a bye so far in this playoffs. Only 1 team in Indiana. 2 seasons has actually won their game that they're supposed to win. So, that it'll be interesting to see if, rest versus rust sort of situation. You got the Rams and Cardinals. The Rams destroyed the Cardinals. Cardinals had a terrible season. It's not
the Cardinals are ass. That's why they fired. That's why their coach got fired. Because they're ass too.
Yep. And then we got the Eagles and Commanders. Somehow we won a game we weren't supposed to, but sure enough, it does.
Like when it was announced that they were resting their starters, and the crazy part was that I made my pick before I found out they were resting their starters, and I picked the Eagles. So the one time this season I went against the Commanders in pick'em, and I was wrong.
Right.
I picked that. I changed. I thought we were going to beat them because I figured they rest their starters. Then they rested their starters, and I'm like, we're starting Josh Johnson. No. We're starting Josh Johnson. We are not good this year.
And the Eagles have something to play for.
They have the number 2 seed to play for, and we want a draft pick.
And then Josh Johnson turned around and ran the ball in on a read option with the DB number 7. Had a chance to get him, but then saw the wide receiver going out and him pump fake, and he went after the receiver. So Josh just walked in. It
wasn't even that good of a pump fake.
It wasn't. It was not. Number 7 looked like a complete idiot because it was like, what kind of pump fake was that? He still chased the receiver instead of going after.
He turned around after it. It's like you're the only guy out there. It was wild. You got the New England Patriots beating the Miami Dolphins. Patriots, congratulations to them for reclaiming their division title. And the Chiefs and Raiders.
Drake May I gotta say this: Drake May is definitely in the conversation for MVP. That dude has been incredible this season. I mean, absolutely incredible. And it's crazy because his rookie year last year, he was a lot better than I expected him to be. And then this year, he was even better. So he's definitely in the conversation.
People were talking him up, and I didn't see it. I was like, I don't think he was going to be that incredible. But sure enough, I was wrong. How did the Chiefs lose to the Raiders?
Because the Chiefs are ass without Mahomes, bro.
Yeah.
They're trash without Mahomes, and it shows. It fucking shows.
Yeah, wow.
Mahomes makes that team. If he's not playing, that team's not good.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they got Mr. Swift and Mahomes back together next year.
Swift. He loves calling him Mr. Swift, y'all.
I love
about
it
Travis
too,
Kelce,
bro.
by the way.
I want him to change his name so bad, just so.
Think the jersey sales would go off the charts.
Yes.
It would be never. There would never be a jersey sold higher than that. Anyway, we got the Bills and the Jets. The Bills just crushed them.
I just feel bad for Jets fans. I never thought I'd feel bad for
Zero
Jets.
interceptions.
Yeah, I'm about to say the Jets made history, and they're my good friend GOP, God rest his soul, and my good friend the Big Hurt used to say when we did promos in the DMVF group. They were on the Jets were on the wrong side of history. Not a single game where they forced an interception.
First time in NFL happen. History. I feel like interceptions accidentally happen. Like yesterday, I watched an interception which bounced off of 3 guys and went just to the guy's hand in that Ravens game. And it's like, how does that not even happen one time for you? Like,
the Jets are on the wrong side of history. What do you want from me?
And their coach had so many interceptions of his own in his career. He must be so mad that his face is being plastered with that. He's
got to be sick knowing that he's that he had more interceptions probably in one season than his actual team had this season.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, clearly every season.
Every season.
Like, holy shit. Eric Glenn, I love Eric Glenn, man. I love his energy and I love his passion. But goddamn, bro, you were a DB in your playing days, and
that's
your own
maybe
DB
a guy
intersection. Jesus Christ, bro.
That's a guy that maybe the Ravens should look at. Let's see if they can steal him away from the Jets, because I feel like the Jets will let him go because they're the Jets. But like, he wasn't the reason. Like, they're just
but also I'm like, if I'm him, get me out of here.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is maybe he would have a resurgence. So
do a solid favor for him. Get him out of there.
Exactly. And then the game with the crazy ending. For Tim's sake, I won't get too far into it.
Scroll away.
Scroll away.
All I gotta say about that Ravens Steelers game is that it took the 17th game of the season for us to give vintage Aaron Rodgers. It took 16 previous games of Rodgers playing average, and then on the 17th game where everything was on the line, we finally got vintage Aaron Rodgers. And I'm just like, why now? Why now?
It was so incredible. And it was so cool to watch 2 quarterbacks have such different philosophies and thought and process. So you've got the guy who has got that home run and can run the ball, with the Ravens, and then they got in the Steelers. This guy's just surgical, right? I mean, he's just, although their time clock management was suspect, at best. I was like, I can believe that they had none of their timeouts with 4 minutes left in the game. Like, I've never seen that before. Like, they were kind of psyching themselves out.
I've seen that before. The Commanders yesterday.
I was about to say.
Fuck. The fuck? Like, these motherfuckers was just burning time. I was like, they were going out of style. I'm like, Bama, why are you calling time? What the fuck are you guys doing? Are y'all not getting the plays in or something? What the hell's going on?
And the Steelers weren't getting the plays in. They had to keep switching helmets. You could tell how pissed he was. He's like, just let me draw it up in the dirt. I'll do better. Like, get rid of these helmets, So, but yeah. So, Tim, I know that it's 11 o'clock. I did promise I would let you get out. Do you want to give your final thoughts, or do you want to give your thoughts on go through the playoffs with us?
I should probably head out. I gotta get up early, but It was good hanging out with you guys.
Real quick, what are your thoughts on the Wizards? And
I mean, I'm excited about SAR. I'm excited that they're finally improving a little bit. The playoffs this year looks kind of far off, but I think you can finally see some light at the end of the tunnel.
there's a young
of this
core that we can
long
be excited
rebuild.
about.
And they are in the running to possibly get Trae Young from Atlanta. That's 25 points right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting because he'd probably stick around for next year too. So
I wonder what we'd have to give up. That's where the question is.
Probably McCollum, because his deal is so big. They want to match it with an expiring contract. That's also big.
The story. I don't know if y'all saw the story that I posted in our group chat, but apparently, if there was a deal to be made, it would be McCollum that would be part of the deal because it would most likely offset the contract that Trae Young has, and then what would be owed to Trae Young with the trade and everything like that. So I think that would be a logical trade. And again, you bring Trae Young in there, like I said, that's an additional 25 points per game that you're bringing in, almost 10 rebounds a game that you will be bringing onto that starting lineup. I think that would be beneficial for this team to at least make the season a lot more respectable.
Real quickly, a NBA scoring update. 76ers tied with the Nuggets at 120 going into overtime. So just a little update there thanks to Scorebot. But Tim, thank you so much for coming on. I know that I'm so sorry that the Ravens are not going to be a part of this playoff coverage, but I think that maybe it might be the best for them. I don't know if they would have beaten the Texans. I was trying to tell Michael Edgley earlier today, this might be the best case scenario. You get a slightly easier schedule next year, get a slightly better draft pick, and you now get the excuse that you needed to fire or move pieces around. I feel like you make the playoffs and there's a Band-Aid there, where I think based on the last two seasons with them underperforming but making the playoffs and going pretty far, it's just hard if they keep on making the playoffs and underperforming to make big changes. But I'm hoping that something changes here and they can get back to their glory days.
Yeah, I agree with that. They might just keep it going like the Steelers with the same coach and kind of stuck, but hopefully now they make real change.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Tim, thank you so much. We'll definitely have you back on and talk Wizards and NBA and NFL playoffs in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, definitely. Have a good rest of the show. See you guys. Good to see you.
See you later.
All right, so let me see if I can hold on. I'm going to pull up the NFL playoff schedule and throw that into this bracket page.
Yeah, because I have it up right here on my phone.
Yeah, same.
So here we go. Let's start it off on Saturday, 4:30 game. We got Rams at the Panthers. For me, this is one of the easiest games to pick a road team that you're going to get because the Panthers are some trash at times.
This is bullshit.
They did surprise us a bunch this season, but they're no Rams. There's no way. That NFC West is such a gauntlet. 3 teams had over 12 wins, champ.
And that's why I said this is bullshit that the Panthers, and I said this in our group chat, even Sif said it. It's so absurd that an 8-9 team, because they're a division winner, can host a playoff game against a 12 or 13 win team because their 12 or 13 win team is a wild card team. It's bullshit. The NFL needs to grow a set of balls, and they need to come up with a plan where once the playoffs,
reseed it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting ready to say. Fuck being if you're a division champion, cool. But if your record is lower than a wild card team, seeding wise, you're going to get a lower seed, regardless if you're a division champ or what. I don't give a fuck about rewarding a division champion with a home playoff game when their record's shit. Remember that time when the Seattle Seahawks made the playoffs at 7-9 and hosted the playoff game.
Tampa Bay did it too.
Tampa Bay as well. That shit needs to go. Like you can't be rewarded with a home playoff game if you're under 500 to finish the season, regardless if you won a division or not, because that just is bullshit. That's bullshit. There's no way that a 12-win team should be on the road in the playoffs.
I'm kind of convinced that the South should have forfeited a playoff position with how bad those teams were.
They were all trash.
They were horrible. They were fucking horrible.
Yeah.
8 and 9 and a 3-way tie for 8 and 9.
Right.
Like, what?
So not a single team broke 500. You know, like that's not good. I mean, the fact is like honestly, the Commanders were probably as good as most of those teams, right? They just played in a harder division and had a harder schedule, right? So
yeah,
I would love to play the NFC South next year, but we're not. We're gonna play the AFC South and the NFC West, and
that sucks for us.
along with Atlanta, Cincinnati, and Minnesota.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. It's like there's an argument to be made that it's a tougher schedule than this year, and last year we ended up as a playoff team, right? So it shouldn't be that way. But
it's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be that tough. We're gonna be playing the Titans.
Yeah,
the Titans are trash.
The other thing is that this year's schedule was only tough because 3/4 of our starters were injured the whole frickin' season.
That hard.
We lost the most man hours. Yeah,
like. I don't think we would have been as bad as we were if 3/4 of our roster was injured at any given time. We didn't have.
Well, I agree. We all had them at 8 or 9, 10 wins. You know, no one had them like this.
Then body bag game after body bag game, and there's nothing you can do about that.
I mean, when you look at the schedule, and then you look at the playoffs this year. 3 of the 7 teams in the NFC playoffs are from the West, who we got to play next year.
Yeah.
The Seahawks, who are the number 1 seed, the Rams, who are the 5th seed, and the 49ers, who are the 6th seed. And we got to play them next year. And then in the AFC, of course, you got the Jaguars and the Texans. 2 of the 3 teams in the AFC South we got to play next year.
And the
Colts team who started off hot but then fizzled out.
Only because they had an injury to their quarterback, and he comes back.
Jones got injured.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a tough one. And then Cincinnati, who had an off year this year, Minnesota, who had a shit year this year, and Atlanta, who was even though they had a shit year because their conference is so weak, they were in the conversation for the playoffs out of the South.
Yeah, it's gonna. I agree with you that it's an injury plagued season, but it speaks to the fact that we need to work through the draft on getting better replacements. It's teams that have better seconds and thirds that end up doing well. I mean, look at the Eagles; they're constantly able to have second and third string players that are serviceable at least, right? And
our fall off is real bad.
Yeah.
Though the Eagles' second straight quarterback was shit.
But that was surprising.
I'm so glad he was shit too, boy. God damn.
But he was shit yesterday. He's usually better. That was his worst game that he's had.
Yeah.
So I mean.
Well, I'm so glad he had it yesterday and not any other time.
Yeah, usually that doesn't happen for Commanders fans that someone has their worst game against us. So it was nice. But I think we all can agree that we think the Rams are going to beat the Panthers, right?
Yes.
Like I don't see that happening. We've got the 8:00 game on Saturday. We got the Packers at the Bears. This is a really exciting game because the teams played each other tough in both of the previous matchups. I mean, it's simple to take the Bears because they're at home, but I would not be surprised if the Packers surprised some people. Champ, what are some of your thoughts on this one?
I'll take the Packers on this one because they're gonna have Jordan Love back. Hopefully they'll have Josh Jacobs healthy. They have a good receiving core. A couple of them are speedsters when it comes to on the receiving side of things, and defensively they're pretty solid. Though Caleb Williams had arguably in his second season, his best season. He set a franchise record for passing yards. And he had I think he also set franchise records for fourth quarter game-winning drives as well. So that's one thing that you have to take into account is that when it comes down to the Bears and the Packers, it's not a sure thing who's going to win this one. I'm going to be going with the Packers, but the Bears could definitely take this one, especially with the way Caleb has been playing this year. And they have so many different weapons like Manungai at the running back position, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze. I mean, this is going to be a team that's this is going to be one of those games that's going to be the game of the weekend, because of the fact it's the oldest rivalry in football, and these two teams play each other so tough, and they had two of the best games of the year just this year. So
I agree.
I can't wait to watch this one.
It was a one-possession game in both of the games. They both won at home, so it's 1-1, which would lead you to believe that the Bears have a chance. But if you look at the first of all, this game is going to be on Amazon and Twitch. Shout out to Twitch. Chicago's only favored by 1 point in this game, and you got to figure that most times when you're at home, you're favored by 3. That's kind of the standard, right? So they clearly think that it could go either way. I do want to point out that game 1 is on Fox, and the Rams, even though they're the road team, are favored by 10 points right now. So I mean that gives you an idea of where the betting stand is. So that's almost a 2 score based on if you're supposed to be -3, right? So that's not good. So. I don't know if I've ever seen a road team in the wild card round have such a such a line going for them, but that should speak to that. So Benson, who do you have, Packers or Bears in this one?
I'm gonna pick the Bears on this one, because of all the reasons you both said, with Caleb Williams being clutch and when it matters, especially this season. Jordan Love coming back, yeah. I think that Vegas got it right where this is a toss-up, but I'm going to pick the Bears because they're at home.
I'll lone wolf it. That's fine. I'll go with the Packers. I'll ride with the Pack. Go, Pack, go. Go, Pack, go. That's fine. I'll rock with them.
I like it. If we all pick the same, it's not a very exciting segment. So, it's I like dissension. Then on Sunday, we got a 1:00 game. And we got the Bills and the Jaguars. Right now, the Bills are favored on the road, but only by 1.5. This is a close matchup. Bills 12-5, Jaguars 13-4. This is a tough pick. My gut says the Bills just because they've been in the playoffs so many years and they've got that playoff experience. But the Jaguars have been a great team all season long. I'll start with you, Benson. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to pick the Jaguars on this. Just because I think it's hilarious that the Bills have never won the Super Bowl ever. No, the Jaguars coming off a big win. They have the momentum. Their whole team is playing well, and it's evident on, in their record and the way that they've been, putting up points. And the Bills, I think it's similar to when Pittsburgh didn't make the playoffs. And we were like, if we don't beat Pittsburgh on the way to the Stanley Cup, it doesn't mean as much. And the Bills want to beat the Chiefs in order to get to the big game. So I think the Jaguars are going to win this because they're at home, because they have the momentum, and because I just don't have any faith in the Bills.
I love it. Champ, what are your thoughts?
You have a battle of 2 top 10 offenses, so it's going to be a shootout between the two, between T-Law and between Josh Allen. But I think that Jacksonville, when they made that trade to get Jacoby Myers, I think that Jacoby Myers was that missing piece in that passing game and has made that passing game so much more dangerous because of what he can do in the passing game. And then Travis Etienne, who for the last couple of seasons has been persona non grata in the run game, and this season he's been absolutely phenomenal in the run game. I'm going to rock with Benson and go with the Jacksonville Jaguars here because, again, whatever Liam Cohen has instilled into that team, they bought in hardcore to go out and win 13 games and be the number 3 seed and win their division. They're doing something right. Not to say that Buffalo's not doing something right, but I think Jacksonville's doing something a lot more right. And if that is even a word. But so I got to go with Jacksonville on this one. I think that they're going to win this game, but it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout. I don't see this being a defensive struggle and like a 3-3 game, and then they win on a field goal. Oh, and that's another thing that Jacksonville has that Buffalo doesn't have. A kicker whose leg is probably stronger than most people's arms. Cam Little. Cam Little's their secret
He now owns
weapon.
the top two all-time kicks.
Dude, Cam Little can probably make a field goal from the parking lot. That's how good. That's how strong a leg he's got. He could be out in the parking lot and probably make a field goal.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So the Bills haven't played the Jaguars at all this year. The Packers and Bears have played twice. And I hadn't mentioned this earlier, but Carolina did play the Rams earlier in Carolina, and Carolina won that game. Right, so I thought so this would be kind of an interesting revenge game there, but I wouldn't have thought that Carolina could ever beat the Rams.
But I think that the Rams are going to have Devontae back, and if they have Devontae back, it's over because they already got Puka, and Puka's good as hell. But if they have Puka and Devontae, Carolina ain't winning that game.
Yeah,
Carolina ain't winning that game at all.
And also, it's a turnover thing. The Panthers, got the Rams to cough it up a bunch of times, and so that I think made a big difference in this game. So
I think the Rams and Panthers game will be lower scoring than most people think it will be, just because of that turnover thing where they don't want to put the Panthers in a position to beat them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. We'll see. It was 31-28 the last time they had a matchup. So we'll see if they learn anything from history, or if it repeats itself, right? So, because they were not favored in that game either. I want to see what the line was on that game back then, but it was. I mean, at the time, the Rams were supposed to just crush them, I believe, and so it was the line in that game. Yeah, wow! It was a 10-point game in that one too.
Oh, fuck.
And
oh fuck.
So anyway,
so the Rams were a 10-point favorite then when they played them and lost
by 3.
And now they're a 10-point, and they lost by 3, and now they're a 10-point favorite this weekend. Oh fuck. We might be talking about Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers in the NFC divisional round again. Oh god. What the
we got to put all the stats on the table, right? So
that's fair. We all might be eating crow.
Exactly. So, all right, the next one is the 49ers-Eagles game, which has the makings to be maybe the game of the week, right? That's the 4:30 game here. Eagles limping in. 49ers should have won the division and should have had home field advantage all the way through, including the Super Bowl, where the Super Bowl is in San Francisco, and they blew it. This is a tough one to pick. I'm going to start with you, Champ. How do you see this one?
I mentioned it earlier. I mean, San Fran's got so much. They have so much they're doing on offense. They're not going to have a member of their defense for the playoffs. He suffered a severe groin injury and he's going to miss the playoffs. So a part of their defense is not going to be there. So that could harm them in the long run. We know how, even though the Eagles are limping in, that Eagles offense is really good when they have all their pieces with Jalen Hurts at quarterback, Saquon in the backfield, and then you have A.J. Brown, Devontae. And even Devontae Smith was the only starter, really, that actually played in that Commanders game and actually made somewhat of an impact in that game. And then, of course, Dallas Goedert. So this is going to be another game that I feel like could potentially be a shootout. I'm reluctantly going to pick the Eagles because San Fran is coming across country, and it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold. And I don't think this team has really played a cold weather game this season. So I don't know how they're going to be able to handle that. And so I think that the Eagles could come out of this one with the victory, as hard as it is for me to say. But coming across country and playing in cold weather, I just don't know if they're able to. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. I would love to see them upset the Eagles and get them the hell up out of here and stop them from going back to back with Super Bowls. But I just don't see it.
Yeah, these teams have not played each other this year, and we got the Eagles are favored by 4.5 at home. Bunsen, what are some of your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Champ on all of that. The Eagles have rested starters. They gave up the number 2 seed because of that. and they got to show that it was worth it. And the Niners, like he said, they're coming across country. They're playing in cold weather, and the Eagles' offense is really good. When everything's clicking, they are really, really hard to stop. And I also think it's going to be a shootout, and I just think the Eagles have too much firepower to stop. If they have a 2 or less yard to go in any situation, you know it's coming. Like everybody knows what's coming, and no one can stop it. So uh, I hate the Eagles. Fuck the Eagles. But I'm gonna pick the Eagles because it's just too much for the Niners to deal with.
Yeah, it's interesting. The implied score based on the over and under uh, and the spread is a 25-20 victory for the Eagles. So it's not as high scoring as I would have thought, but also San Francisco just played in a game where it was 13-3. So both teams can play defense too. So it'll be interesting to see where, on that over under on 45, whether it hits or it doesn't. So it's something to look for sure in that one. All right, we're getting down to it. We've got 2 games left. This one, also a very exciting game. We got the Chargers and the Patriots. New England is favored by 3.5. This is the 8 o'clock game on NBC. The first game, by the way, was on CBS, then Fox, now NBC. So pretty standard stuff. Chargers Patriots. This is can be an exciting game both ways. This time I'm going to start with Benson. What are your thoughts on this one?
Watching the Chargers play, they've been very inconsistent, so I'm going to pick the Patriots on this one. The Patriots are back. They're bought in. They're ready to go, and they have been consistent this year. Even with some hiccups. The Chargers, when they played us, they looked so bad. They looked disorganized. They looked lost. And again, it's a team coming cross country, playing in cold weather. And I think the Patriots are going to win this because of the conditions that they're going to play in and just the consistency of the Patriots.
Yeah. Champ, what are some of your thoughts?
I got to agree with Benson on this one. I mean, Drake May, as I said earlier on, is playing at an MVP level. I mean, this dude has been out here just balling. I don't know what's going on with Stephon Diggs. He's got some legal troubles going on, but they do have some good weapons on the at the receiver position. And Ramondre Stevenson has been an absolute beast at running back. And this team just has been mostly unstoppable this season. The Chargers play very well. Justin Herbert is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but just like with San Francisco, coming across country, playing in cold weather, like Benson just mentioned, I just don't see the Chargers getting anywhere close to a victory against this Patriots team. This Patriots team is just too good.
Here's some weather updates for this game. It's going to snow during the day, which will make the ground very cold, right? Yeah. 1 to 3 inches. It's supposed to taper off before this game starts. The starting temperature is 20 degrees with a feels like of 10 to 15.
Oh, yeah. Right? Football weather, my guy!
Right. That's got to suck for people in sunny LA, the Chargers who play in a dome, I will remind people.
Yep.
That is not dome weather. So, yeah, anywho. That is
here's the
also
thing,
wind gusts of 20 miles per hour, right?
Here's the thing, though, y'all. Here's the thing, though. Even if the Chargers somehow, some way beat the Patriots in New England, they got to stay in cold weather because then they got to go to Denver.
Yeah.
Because they're the lowest seed, they got to play Denver in the next round. So it's going to go from worse to worse. If they somehow upset the Patriots, then they got to face Denver in Denver. So they got to be in cold weather and high elevation. Though they're used to it because they play them twice a year. So they know the Denver Broncos, but still, it's not going to be back-to-back weeks of cold weather games. Yeah, no, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to take a call real quick, but you guys, why don't you give your thoughts on the Texans-Steelers game real quick?
I'll start. Texans, again, have been playing incredibly well down the stretch. And that's one of the things that, can make a team a more dangerous team, especially in the playoffs, if they get hot at the right time, which is usually towards the end of the season. And that's what the Texans have done. They got hot at the right time, which is towards the end of the year. And Steelers had to play a hard-fought game, which they almost lost on Sunday Night Football just to get this game. And this is going to be a very interesting game. Again, this is another situation where they needed to be reseeded, and this game needed to be in Houston because Houston's coming in with a 12-5 record. Steelers, yes, they won a division, but they're 10-7. So this should have been a flip of the seeding, and this should be a home game for the Houston Texans. But instead, they're having to go up to Pittsburgh and play in Pittsburgh in this game. I like what Houston's been doing, and that's why I'm going with Houston. They'll have Stroud back. He should be healthy and ready to go, and they should be able to do something, though the Steelers are not going to make it easy for them, and neither is that crowd because Pittsburgh football in January, you're going to see nothing but them yellow terrible towels flowing around. It's going to be a very intimidating environment, especially if you're not used to it. But I think that DeMeco Ryans is going to have that team ready and raring to go into Pittsburgh and punch those dudes in the mouth. So I'm going with Texas. I'm going with Houston on this one, but Pittsburgh's not going to make it easy. Mike Tomlin and that team are not going to make it easy. Aaron Rodgers, we all know, has been here before. It's been a while. He even admitted that in his post-game interview. It's been a while since he's been here, but that don't mean he forgot what to do when he gets here. So that's the only reason why I'm hesitant to pick the Houston Texans, but I'm going to pick them anyway because they got hot at the right time, and I think that hot streak's going to continue.
One thing real quickly, and then I'll get Benson's thoughts. I love how many games this week are games between two teams that haven't played each other yet, right? So often it's a lot of repeats and stuff like that. 3 out of the 6 are new games, which is always exciting to see what happens, when that happens. I agree. The Texans, I think, will beat them. I think it'll be close. They're actually favored by 3.5 on the road, which gives you an early indicator of where Vegas sees this. I do think it'll be a close back and forth matchup, and I will say that next week on this podcast we will live root against the Steelers and for the Texans. So if you want to be a Texans fan for a week, you can come join us, and we will definitely cover that live. And it'll be fun. It'll be a really fun game to cover live. And even though I'm very mad at how that game ended last night, having Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs one more time, because who knows how many more times this is going to happen, is always exciting. He played a really great game last week, and so I am excited to see that matchup, but I will be rooting against him for sure. So I'm not rooting like that he's going to break his leg on the first play like a Michael Edgley is, but, I am going to root against him in that one. With all that, Benson, what are your thoughts on this game?
I'm with Champ on this one, where I'm gonna pick the Texans because they got hot at the right time. DeMeco Ryans has this team ready to go. I think it's going to come down to how much Aaron Rodgers has left in the tank. If we get prime Aaron Rodgers back, I think the Steelers can take it. I think that, like Champ said, they're not going to make it easy, and I think they can keep it close enough that if Rodgers can be clutch once again, like he's been his entire career, the Steelers can take it. But I think the Texans are rolling, and I'm going with the Texans just because momentum. And there were times in the Steelers-Ravens games where Rodgers looked kind of tired, and a little bit old, where before he would shake off a hit. And I can't remember which quarter it was, but he was running out of bounds. And 5 years ago, he would have made a first down. He would have outrun that defender. He couldn't do it. And that's Father Time catching up to him. So if we get a prime Aaron Rodgers performance, the Steelers can take it, but I'm going with the Texans because I don't know how much he has left in the tank, and I don't think he has much. I think
I
just
don't know.
getting to the playoffs like took everything he had.
I don't know how Unc is going to be able to perform because the one thing I forgot to mention, I'm seeing it right here. Houston has a top-ranked defense in the NFL, y'all. They have the best defense in the NFL.
Yep.
And Unc's got to go up against that.
Yep.
And the Ravens defense is not like that, and so
nope.
And they struggled in the first half against them, right? So, it'll be interesting to see how they do. A weather update for that game is right now it looks like it's going to be 30 degrees, so unseasonably warm for Pittsburgh. And no precipitation looks like, obviously we're a week out, so things can be changed, and then a wind's expected to be 10 miles per hour. So all things considered, not as bad as it could be in Pittsburgh for, if it was a snow game and 10 degrees colder, it's going to be that much harder for a Texas team to come in there and win it. But, it'll be an interesting matchup next week for us to live watch for sure.
And obligatory fuck the Steelers.
But yeah, exactly. Exactly.
For sure.
All right. Well, Benson, any final thoughts or anything you want to share with us before we let you go?
Fuck the Dolphins and the Browns for almost making me lose. I would pick against them because they looked like trash the week before and they would somehow win.
Right.
I kind of hope that oh God, I'm blanking on his name right now. Our offense coordinator gets a head coaching job and we steal Mike McDaniel. I would like to have him as our offensive coordinator just because I can see the playbook that he's running and it would work really well with Jaden Daniels. It's not so good with Concussion. But that would be interesting.
Tua turn the ball over. That's his name.
Yes, exactly.
By the way, Tua actually came out and said that it would be dope to have a change of scenery. So he might be gone from Miami pretty soon.
Oh, well, that's a reason for Mike McDaniel to stay. And we're not going to let our offensive coordinator go as long as Arizona's paying half his salary. So,
right. I wonder how much longer is that for?
I think next year is the last year for it. And if our offense stagnates again next year, we'll be looking in a different direction. Because they kind of figured out our offense because it is fairly basic.
We run like no gimmick plays. Like,
we ran no gimmick plays. We didn't run a whole lot of bootlegs.
They tried to gimmick play yesterday, and that shit went south quick.
But don't do it with a third string quarterback. Do it,
it's Josh Johnson, bro. That's the gimmick.
That's the time you're going to bring it out the whole season is with him. I don't know.
But also, we finally have a generational quarterback who hasn't already broken his knee once. He's apparently Gumby because that elbow injury was gruesome to watch. And he's like, I'm fine. Oh, okay.
I'm still happy we sat him out for the rest of the season.
Yes.
Though. We had nothing to play for. I know that was questionable.
There's a lot of people. I've seen a bunch of prominent Redskins media people complaining about us winning. We weren't going to have in the top 5 of draft picks. And if you're not in the top 5 of draft picks, and honestly, if you're not in the top 3, it doesn't really matter. And fuck the Eagles. So, I'm not mad that we beat the Eagles. And I have been fighting with my Eagles friend on this, Ronald, about you beat our third, our second string, and it's like, dude, we were playing Josh Johnson, bro. You couldn't stop Josh Johnson. Shush.
Exactly. See, I'm glad there's finally somebody on this podcast that has the same mentality as me. Fuck the draft until April. I want to win. I don't care about draft picks until now that it's the off season. Okay, now I care. But during the season, I don't give a fuck. I just wanted to win these last 4 games, and we won 2 of the last 4.
And if you're not going for a quarterback, the difference between the 5th pick and the 7th pick isn't that great.
Honestly, I hope we trade back. We trade back. I want more offensive linemen. Like
No,
I know
we
our
need
defense needs
help on
help.
we need
I
help on
want
the defensive front.
linemen.
I
Because
understand that.
our
I
run
get it.
defense, our run defense is horrible.
If we
Even when
don't
they went
take,
out and even when they went out
We
and
need
made
both, to be
moves,
honest.
when they
Yeah.
went out and made moves to supposedly help the front when it, against the run, and it still didn't help. So they need to draft somebody that's a good run stopper.
it's because our defensive line is passable. It's everything after our defensive line that's garbage. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Frankie Louvu. I love Bobby Wagner. I love the experience that they bring. I love the enthusiasm that they bring. But if you watch these dudes run sideline to sideline, they can't keep up with anybody. You put the slowest tight end in the league out there, and they will outrun both of them. I want a linebacker who can actually cover the middle of the field, who can chase down people, not receivers, obviously, but tight ends, running backs. Like, we need a linebacker who can do that, and we don't have one. Like, I've seen a couple of our third stringers, second stringers who can move like that, but they don't have the experience. And their speed isn't enough to make up for the inexperience. So we got to get younger, because most of the people who got injured were older, because that's our team. We have to get younger, and we have to get faster. So I want a linebacker, an offensive lineman, and then a corner, in that order. Like, that's my priority. Defensive line is one of those things where if you can plug the gap, cool. That's great. But if they bounce around the edge, that they're going to get 5 yards every time they bounce around the edge. Every single time I've watched a team run around the edge on us, they get 5 yards. And it's like, that means that it's 2nd and 5. They get 3 more, it's 3rd and short. And every single time that happens, we just suck. So I understand our defensive line does need help, but our linebacking core is old. It needs to be upgraded. And then our corners are just like, I don't know if we're just cursed with drafting corners because we passed on Christian Gonzalez, but at least we have one defensive back who can make plays without committing pass interference. Can we get 2? Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, ever since we had Sean Taylor, we've never had more than one ball hawk on our team.
That's
like
the
we have
thing.
a ball hawk, but never more than one.
And they never throw his way.
Right.
Because they know he's a ball hawk. They know he's the only one we have, so you just don't throw to him.
Right.
So
I will give a quick shout out to Bobby Wagner, though, the 3rd player in NFL history to have 2,000 career tackles.
Yes.
So,
that's what I love about our linebacking core, is the experience and the fact that they understand what Dan Quinn is trying to build here, and they're trying to build up the team, create that team mentality, the culture inside the building, the winning culture, but the talent's just not there. And I've been saying
it falls off so fast when they get injuries. So that's the thing is we were talking about that earlier, but I hammer that home is our ones are fine. It's our 2s and 3s that just cannot compete in the NFL.
And we don't have a which one don't we have? We don't have a 2nd rounder or a 3rd rounder this year. So I would like to trade back, pick up a few more picks and get younger. That's the ideal thing, because like you said, 5 to 7, not that big a deal, and 7 to 10, not that big a deal, especially if we're not going for a premier like quarterback, edge rusher, stud offensive lineman, and we're not. So I am very happy with the changes that were made to the offensive line, and Adam Peters, he's whiffed on a couple of things, but overall, I think he's made our team better. And I've been saying this since Josh Harris got here. This is not a 1, 2, or 3-year rebuild. This is Ron Rivera and Dan Snyder screwed this team for half a decade minimum. This is going to be a 5-year rebuild at minimum before we're talking about Eagles level contention, where it's every year we can expect to be double-digit wins, maybe playoffs, wild card at least.
We had to basically have a perfect healthy season last year where no one got injured for us to go where we go. And then we saw the fall off that happened when the injuries started to pile up. And so I think we do need to take a page out of the Eagles playbook and really get some depth into the team for sure. And stuff like that.
I totally agree with what everything that Benson said. I totally agree with. I think that this team definitely is going in the right direction, especially after the way this team was mismanaged over the years. And I think that once you get through all of this, you start to really get depth, and because you already have the culture. You already have the proper culture to the point that people are willing to take pay cuts just to come here.
Why would people get rid of Dan Quinn now? Really?
I hate people who are like, Dan Quinn needs to be fired. You are an idiot, sir. You need to be quiet and sit down.
Yeah.
Hey, Robbie, can I ask a question? Can we have Benson back on here more often, please?
Sure.
He's basically the white version of me.
Yeah, he's Asian, but sure.
Asian, whatever. He's the other color version of me. He's everything that I usually say on this podcast. He's saying.
Yeah, for sure.
I need that.
Right. I mean, you're the people's champ for a reason. You're right. I sit and listen to you talk, and I'm just like, yes. Can we just pipe this directly at our admin, please, at our front office? Can we do that?
Like I said, I like the direction that this team is going into. It's just that, again, like you said earlier, Benson, they made way too many mistakes during Riverboat Ron's tenure here, and while Snyder was the owner of this team for almost 3 decades and stuff like that, a lot of mistakes were made, and it's going to take a lot longer than a year or two to fix what made this team so broken. But at least Dan Quinn came in here and changed the culture of this team to the point that you have a Von Miller, one of the most feared defensive players in the league. Literally, I think took a pay cut just to come here, right? Yep. And there's been reports that there are so many players in the league that want to come here and play for this team and play for Coach Quinn.
I mean, Von Miller just had a report today that he wants to come back and play for us again. Which says even
Zach
in
Ertz
this
took
season,
a pay cut to stay here. Unfortunately, he suffered an injury. He might be done, but he wanted to stay here.
But that says something right there, right? That these two veteran players could play anywhere, could do whatever they want to do in the twilights of their season, and they believe in the culture that's being formed here. Which is, again, why would you get rid of Dan?
He's the guy behind it. Why would you fire the guy behind the reason why we have changed from a team where people are...
Or at least move him into management if you're going to get a different coach. But you got to keep that,
I do want Joe Witt gone. You are terrible at your job sitting up in a box.
Joe Witt Jr. sucks. Joe Witt Jr. sucks. I'm sorry, he sucks.
Out.
Yeah.
I don't know who we would replace him with because I'm not up to date on defense coordinators or rising defensive coordinators. But I just know that we can do better than that. And because of the culture Dan Quinn has created here, people want to come here.
Or Dan just takes over the defense too. I'm
okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm totally cool
honestly,
with that.
honestly, I would bring in Kevin Stefanski as a defensive coordinator. Because I think he's been a defensive coordinator before and been successful. So I would bring him in as a defensive coordinator, and Dan Quinn still calls the defense, but if Stefanski's defensive scheme is much better, then let Stefanski call the defense and let Quinn just be the head coach. I do
prefer the head coach just focus on that because there's a lot more nuance to it than people realize. Managing both sides of the ball and managing the managers. But at the same time, we've seen it before. Head coaches be coordinators too, to varying success.
I was about to say to uneven results.
Yeah,
I mean, look at what Dan Campbell was doing in Detroit.
Yes,
I think took over the offensive play calling.
A great example.
Yeah. Sounds good. Well, I'm gonna let Benson go. I appreciate his time and doing that, and then I'm gonna let Champ give one last shout outs to what he's doing with the No Spots podcast. But Benson, we'll definitely have to have you back on, and maybe we'll add Benson to our group chat, and then he can at least come on more often than once. I mean, I think it's only maybe the third time Benson's ever been on the podcast. So, so,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have to do more than that in the upcoming year. So,
yeah, man.
All right, sounds good. All right, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
See y'all later.
Appreciate
All right. So, Champ, let people know what's happening on the No Spots podcast this week.
Well, because it is the early on in the year, we do our annual gimmick where me and Sif have to sit down and remember 10 matches from the previous year that we really liked, and then rank them from 1st to 10th and give our countdown, because this coming Sunday for episode 315, it's our annual countdown of our top 10 favorite matches of the previous year, which was 2025. And a lot of times we don't just do just WWE. For at least for me, it's usually WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan. It's just across the spectrum in terms of matches that I've seen. So we'll be doing our countdown for that, as well as whatever news that has come out this week. We did talk about on this week's episode the update regarding the Janelle Grant lawsuit against Vince McMahon and WWE, where there's a little bit of a side legal issue going on that has to do with the doctor that treated Janelle Grant during her time with WWE, and their a release of records, of billing records that would show that Vince McMahon was the one that paid the doctor to treat her while he was doing whatever he was with her. So we talked about that, but this week we'll talk about whatever news that comes out this week. New Japan recap. We'll talk about New Year's Dash, which saw a lot of developments happen to move them forward to start the year post Tanahashi retirement, including Will Ospreay announcing that once he is healed up from his neck surgery, that he is going to return to New Japan to try to bring the United Empire back to prominence. It looks like the Bullet Club is no more. It's going to be a new faction that includes unaffiliated and the former Bullet Club War Dogs. There's some new contenders for championships. There's new champions. There's all this stuff going on in New Japan. We'll talk about all of that this coming Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern time for episode 315 of the No Spots podcast. It'll be streaming live on Kick and Twitch at True No Spots Pod. If you missed the stream, the audio will go up the next day on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music.
Is it also on the Facebook page too? Or yeah.
Probably not. We only did the this week's podcast on the Facebook because it was the first one of the year. We tend to do with the podcast, we tend to do it only on Facebook when it's like a really big one, like either the final one of the year or the final one of the season or the first one or what have you. We typically do our live reactions on Facebook along with Kick and Twitch. But the next time we'll do a podcast on Facebook will most likely be the season finale in April. That'll be the next time you'll see the podcast on Facebook. Otherwise, it'll be just on Kick and on Twitch.
Sounds good. Well, Champ, thank you for being a rock star. I know you're an hour over time, but it was a great time.
I'm going to be struggling in the morning, but thankfully I'll be on the train on the way in the office instead of driving all the way to DC, so I'll be fine.
Nice. Well, I appreciate the breakdown of the football, but also that was super fun to cover that Raw episode live. That was legitimately one of my favorite Raw episodes I've seen in a while. And I thought it had a little bit of everything in it, and so it was fun to get to cover that main event live, because I know that one's been promoted for quite some time, almost PLE level promo for that one. So. Awesome. Sounds good. Well, I don't think we're going to raid tonight, so I'm going to probably just end it here. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in and being a part of the season premiere. Two quick little shout-outs. One is on Wednesday. I'm hoping around noon, maybe 12:30, to do either an hour and a half recap of my trip and show how the edits are going for our family vlog that I was making with Zach today. Also showing the latest scuba documentary that will be released. Both of those will be released towards the tail end. Definitely go check out Robbie Gross on YouTube for the family style vlogs, and also Gross Scuba for the scuba documentaries. It's doing really well over there, but definitely give us a subscribe to us on YouTube over there. Also, this podcast is live streamed on the main channel, Robbie Gross, as well. You can always catch all of that stuff over there. I'm also going to do some podcast editing, some graphic design streams on Wednesdays as well, and then also get back into doing some Pokemon playthroughs as well. So stay tuned on all the channels for lots of stuff coming in 2026. Super excited that we're doing this countdown to 400. Again, next week we'll have the live hate of the Steelers, and we'll recap the Caps, preview going to the Caps game with my dad and son the next day, and then we'll also, the week after that, we'll have the college football championship live, and that'll be in 2 weeks. So a lot of fun stuff coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully the Wizards keep going strong. Shout out to them for getting a bunch of wins, having the best run since 2022. So I know we didn't have time to go into all the games specifically, but much better play. They actually almost won another one of those games too, and much better play.
By the way, Robbie, really quick, Nationals note, they claimed outfielder Joey Weimer off of waivers from the San Francisco Giants. So Nationals making some moves during this offseason, as we are about a couple months away from pitchers and catchers reporting.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And then the return of the UFL champions, the Defenders as well. So I know I never made that merch that I promised. So hopefully sometime this spring we'll make a championship merch before that season starts as well. Lots to come. Thank you again, Champ. Everyone go check out the No Spots podcast. Thanks to Gil for helping champion some great play-by-plays. Go check out his podcast as well. Go check out Sis Basement as well. Thank you to Benson. Congratulations on the championship for that. And thank you, Tim, for coming on even after our Ravens loss and being a champ for that as well. We hope to have... I
just realized something, Robbie.
Yeah.
This is my first podcast I'm doing on Sports in the Hill since I got engaged.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I haven't actually talked to you in person since that. So that's a great
My
thing.
fiance was actually watching for a little bit, but she went to sleep because she has to get up early to get Junior to a doctor's appointment. Then she has her treatment to do tomorrow morning. So she wanted to watch all the way through, but she couldn't make. I'm kind of glad she did, because I told her I was only going to be on for an hour, and I'm on for 2.
Yeah, exactly. So congratulations. Also, best wishes to my wife, who's just had a CT scan in the hospital in the ER. So hopefully everything will come through for her and she'll be okay. Shout out to my dad for sitting there in the waiting room for her. And being there for her, and hopefully we'll have good news next week on that front. But thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. We're going to end it here, but I hope that you have a great week. Hope the Caps get a couple wins, Wizards as well. Hopefully we've got some good playoff games upcoming, and we'll be back next week to recap the wild card round, preview the divisional round, talk Caps, and also preview the college football championship as well. So lots of fun stuff next week.